I'd like to show you something.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Woo! How are you all doing tonight? Thank you for being here early and right away. I do appreciate it. Welcome to 123 episodes of Toxic Tuesday with the ultra canceled. Also not on any streaming service. Bachelor Party. Let's have some fun. Talk about this one. Let's see. We got a good amount of people here early and right away to talk about this. Their toxicity. I see Deba, Martin, Penny, Nominal, Vulcan lives, 11 Alpha. Hello, sir. Emperor's NM, Cosmic Vader, Putin's Cat, Pinochet's Helicopter Tours, Soy Based Jeremy, Darth Viewer. Oh, ain't that the truth? Yes. So, anyways, I see people are getting in here. So I say we're not going to have a 70s on tonight. He's got stuff going on. Red Shirt will not be around as well. Hey, Nav, what's up, man? Nice to see you here as well. Hell yeah. Tom Mayerby and then Gerry is on the whole comic book stuff. So since he's working on Vindicated Inc., he's trying to fulfill his deadlines per se. Which I get. You're working on a comic book. It's crowdfunded. And he's doing work, so I respect that. And if he can make it, we can talk about what in this movie he put in his butt, whether it's the horse or something else. If not, we'll make do. Normie the Navi, hello. Dead Man Walking 55. Frank Hammett, what's up? Welcome. I like saying that. And to all those lurkers out there too, because I know out there are people who just watch, they listen. Maybe they're on the TV and they just, they don't really respond on devices, and that's good. So shout out to all the lurkers. I was gonna say locals, but in here you are locals anyway. So all right. Anyways, let's bring in the first dude of the night. Starting with the man who probably had a joy of a time doing the visuals, the slides, the Mad Mardigans. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing excellent. I'm all ready for Bachelor Night. So I got plenty of slides from Bachelor Night now. All right. Well, this joke is getting old, I know, but I couldn't resist.
No.
Yeah, this is
going. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you to stop.
This is Tom Hanks, before it becomes, the next, great actor in Hollywood or whatever, most respected actors. I don't know how cool he is if he likes this movie or disowns it, or I guess this is around must have been after Bosom Buddies, and I think it was after Splash. After he was with Daryl Hannah, and then that was one of the movies that saved Disney back in the day. They could use one of those now, but that's another story. But yeah, this movie's toxic. I've always liked this movie. It's when it's funny, it's super funny. I mean, there's some scenes. It's a stupid, dumb, crazy movie, but it knows what it's trying to do, at least. So It's when it
Yeah,
hits
at
joke,
least there's
joke,
that.
jokes work. Yeah. So
Mhm.
this ain't Laurence Olivier ain't in this movie as Tom Hanks' character quotes, so he knows what he's doing. But he can play. He's got that comedy, knack for comedy. So
Oh
he
yeah,
gets the
full
job. He
stop.
gets the job done. And yeah, it's too bad Gerry's not here tonight because we would have had a lot of bad jokes with.
Oh, I
Uh,
know. Here, if you're out there listening, just come in the second half. I know you were going to come, but if you get at least,
you can come anytime you want, Gerry.
It just feels almost inappropriate, dare I say, that he's not here. So if we can at least have him for some of the time, at least if he can come some of the time, better than none of the time, I'll take what I can get. Right?
For sure.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
working on some special appearances for tonight. So I'm gonna be making sure I got the slideshow was safe for broadcast. There's not too. You'd think there'd be more, but there's quite enough Mads. And I'm trying to work on some special
there's
special
never
dance
enough
numbers this
Mad
morning.
Mardigan. Dude, you
Yeah.
should have seen his reaction when we did the shit list on Sunday night on my channel because he was on the show for that. And he's like, "What's with all these photos and videos with my face on it?" I was like, "You really are clueless." Oh, it was
Oh, he's better
hilarious.
be here. Yeah.
I'm like, we're gonna do it even more now because you said that.
Right.
Now you just inspired us all to double down, particularly Mark you to say who has the power, especially on this side of the internet. So I will not stop him whatsoever. All right, let's bring in the next dude. All right, and welcome to channel Rice Ball. Don't know if you're a lurker or someone new here, or someone who has been here, just counting now, but welcome. How's it going, Bruce? Oh,
Hey guys, I'm ready to talk about this
Hey, Bruce.
film.
Ooh, we're gonna get real. We're gonna get Bruce uncut tonight.
Yeah, this is in that period of time where Tom Hanks became an actor or whatever you want to call it, if you're nice. But I wasn't such a fan of his because of that Mazes and Monsters bullshit, and Sally Jesse Raphael smoking the pole of anybody who would bitch about Dungeons and Dragons. I still hold that. I still pray for a meteorite to smash her house. Anyway,
Tom Hanks was involved in that.
Tom Hanks was the main star of fucking Mazes and Monsters, which came out right before this movie, which is pretty good, except for Tom Hanks is in it. it's absolutely in my bottom 5% of Tom Hanks movies I enjoyed watching.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
We'll discuss this as it goes on.
All right, and we shall.
Yeah, I want to hear everybody's valid statements, but I just thought I'd give you a preview as to where we're gonna go.
All right. No, hey, as we have said before, we don't have to be an echo chamber here. That's what we do. So,
and I love
been here for a minute. New account, just really check. Oh, hey, how about that? I love that. Hell yeah, man. Well, I appreciate it. And right about this, hell. Hey,
Rob.
Yeah, good to see you here, buddy. All right, let's bring in the Keto Simple One himself. I'm sure he had a toxified time watching this.
I had a hard time watching this fucking movie.
I had to enable you.
Yeah, I mean, because you cannot find this movie anywhere streaming.
So where'd you find it, Dustin?
This is why you need to buy physical media.
Yeah.
Where'd you find it?
You don't know my wife, okay?
I know, you're right. I don't, but I think you now have a valid argument against her, especially one day she's gonna like a movie and she's gonna be invested in that movie, and then gets pulled from streaming.
It's one of those things. It drives us nuts because we don't have any disc players or anything in the house.
Okay, yeah.
And then we'll have movies there's a handful of movies she likes to watch on a regular rotation, and we'll have to not watch them because they're not on whatever streaming services we have. We have to wait till they rotate back on. And we have a handful that we've purchased on Amazon and stuff, but
The ones
Like I
that
said,
you
like
don't, you own on
purchase.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Because even if you buy it on Amazon, you still don't own it, because if they remove it, your purchase goes with it too.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
Yep.
Well, the thing is my dad, my stepdad, he's got a collection that you guys would. I mean, it's not a curated collection.
Okay.
But he's probably got about 5,000 to 6,000 movies, like VHS, DVD.
Oh, hey, he's got me beat. He's got me beat. So
it's ridiculous. Like and like people have like, I would go like typically we'll get them for like $0.25 a piece. I'll buy him the VHS's tapes or whatever while we're out yard sailing and stuff. Or sometimes we go to yard sales and they're just giving away their DVDs. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like whenever he passes away, I don't even know what we would do with that. I mean, there's just it's ridiculous how much he has.
Wow. And
they're not in probably a really good condition either. That's
probably not.
not old VHS. They don't last.
No, God, no.
I wish
those definitely take more. Those definitely take more working care. That's for sure.
People are auctioning those now. I mean, you can sell them if they're in good shape. That's Heritage Auctions is selling DVD. VHS
Ready to Rumble. I remember Ready to Rumble. I saw that in the.
Oh, well, didn't that have? Did that have?
David Arquette.
Oh, I was thinking the movie with that was No Holds Barred. Never mind. I was thinking the movie that had Hulk Hogan in it.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, Hogan had no. That was No Holds Barred Hulk Hogan.
That's reasonable.
All right. Well, okay. Let's see here. What's up from North Jersey? I haven't seen you around here. Welcome. I see Mr. Fuckminster. Hello. Yes, we are attracting more balls. And Emperor's NM had a great comment, I think, right before we started the show, and I highlighted. I felt like this was really worth highlighting. He said, having forgotten about this movie, I Googled it. IMDb came up with a review descriptor under featuring the word misogyny in it. Looking through the reviews resulted in a lot of modern
I'm waiting for Tom Hanks to apologize about this film.
He doesn't care. He's not even an American anymore.
Didn't he come back?
I don't know. I know he's not. I know he renounced his citizenship, or at least he has dual citizenship, at the very least.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought he cared because I remember George Clooney. I know he originally left and then he came back. I was just like, okay, dude, why? So basically,
to escape that list, you know the list.
Oh yeah,
twice.
Oh, got it in my headline there, right there.
Isaac, well, speaking of names, I you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because I've got a name that I am going to use tonight because, well, it's a bit of a why would I not?
Let's get you properly dressed, sir.
Oh, I'm not gonna wear those Chippendales outfits. No.
Oh my God!
You got the slide, Mark?
I'm gonna slide it right in a second. Yeah, I'm uploading our first clip.
Just let us know so we can feel a little bit buttered up, and it better have salt on it. All right.
So here's the primer for the slide.
Attention passengers, we are now leaving Nunn Central on our journey to hell and beyond.
And I can appreciate that going to Catholic school, but that sets up the movie. And like, if you have no idea that Hank started on Bosom Buddies and comedy and small roles and Big and Splash, I mean, it'd be it'd be a shock. Like, what the hell is he doing in this movie?
Oh, first he was on The Love Boat he did an episode. Then he did 37 episodes of Bosom Buddies, which was a real fun show for back in 82, 84. 82 is when it aired.
Yeah, that was a great show. Yeah.
And you got that and him and Mary Jo Spurger's in this movie. And she's a fucking adorably fucking obnoxious in that show.
Yeah, she's on Bosom Buddies. Yeah, the doctor's proctologist's wife. Yeah.
That's a fucking.
And then in 82, after he wrapped up Bosom Buddies, he did an episode of Taxi, and then Happy Days, and then the most miserable movie ever made for faggots, mazes, and monsters. Then Splash. Right after that in 83, they did 3 episodes of Family Ties, and then Bachelor Party came out in 84.
And that will be
Someone's
June
invested angrily in this.
And then June of 84 was when Bachelor Party came out to get into the theatrical release. And yeah, it was a movie that opened very low. I don't know if it was a limited release thing or if just maybe enthusiasm was low, expectations were low. You decide the word. But it had legs and it held up legs and it had a successful run for its time. So yeah, because they opened up only 4 million, and it actually had a even better weekend the second weekend. So clearly, this was at a time where word of mouth was still the prime way of getting around with things. I'd still argue to this day it's probably the best, but at the time it was definitely the most reliant thing. And yeah, word got around quick, and clearly it resonated with people. And I think a lot of us, we've all had our Bachelor Party success moments. And I know, ironically, I myself have only been to a few of them in my life. I've actually not been to many of them. You would think that Nick's had to have been like
Party animal.
No, I party like someone who's been at 800 Bachelor Party. I'll say that. Trust me when I say like I'm the type of guy who's passed out in Tupperware boxes. I've seen people vomit on TVs. I've bashed my own head against the wall. I've bashed beer cans against my head, cut my own head open doing it. I've taken Arby's sandwiches, smashed against the wall, beer bottles against the wall, set cardboard on fire in the front lawn. I definitely have done my share of.
You've had your moments.
I've had quite a few moments.
Can you take care, sweetheart?
Hey, take care, Petty. I've definitely
Petty.
have had my troubles. I remember one time I passed out right next to a toilet. I woke up the next morning and up above me was a cardboard cutout of Michael Jordan. I don't know how that happened, but it was there. I was like, "Oh, hey, MJ, how's it going? No slam dunks here. I'm drunk."
Darth Viewer says that was just this week.
Yeah, I am, and I've definitely of course I've had some not so recommendable, especially during my lightweight days.
Oh wait, let's take this overlay
I've
off.
Vomited, and yeah,
What
a very toxic way to start the movie, right? As we got one of the main leads doing photo shoot. Oh yeah, he said, "Well, I look at these babies." I was like, "Oh, how on the nose." So
Could you do that in the movie today? No way.
If Cobra was peak 80s for action, I would say this is as 80s as it gets for comedy because you got a lot of the neon colors. Obviously, then there's the clothes and outfits, the soundtracks of it all. You got obviously also a rising star, Tom Hanks, who got his break in the 80s because even though he probably ascended to even bigger stuff in the 90s and 2000s, but the 80s really is the starting grounds for him. And also in the 80s, was dominated by, a lot of these types of movies. That's a big thing too. These party type of movies that were dominated by sex, drugs, and rock and roll, basically. Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds. You had Party Animals, even though that was late 70s. You have obviously Bachelor Party. Yeah, it's just all these movies were pretty much these movies buttered up movies like American Pie that came later on that were, in my opinion, there were some moments of those, but they didn't hold up to these things. Oh, thank you. Porky's. We did a Toxic Tuesday and Porky's. That was a fun time when we did that one.
That was a lot of work, that one.
Oh my God. I would hate to be Mark in preparation for that.
But I mean, you got to figure this movie set up a lot of tropes for what would come after. So I mean, not necessarily that this movie was a blueprint for those movies, but this one was definitely an early adopter of what would become the 80s and 90s comedies, kind of coming into it. And it really shined through too, towards the late 80s, early 90s. Because in the 90s, when I finally got cable, there was a never-ending supply of this type of movie, like with no-name actors in it, on Cinemax at 2:00 in the morning. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Let's not forget too, and Darth Viewer just beat me to it. But this came out, as I mentioned earlier, June of '84. 1984 was just left and right, movie after movie after movie, like of hit after hit after hit. For Bachelor Party to even put up the numbers that it did, even with the small opening weekend, I'd say that is still that's still a feat in itself. I feel like if it came out today, like unaltered, like the way it is, I feel like it would definitely have an probably even better outing, because people would say we need a movie like this to, party to have actual genuine escapism. But this is at a time when Ghostbusters is the biggest movie of the year. They had Indiana Jones, the second one, Gremlins, Police Academy, which we'll be doing soon, Purple Rain. There's so many. Revenge of the Nerds was the same year, right? Yeah. Revenge of the Nerds is the same year.
Have you done Revenge of the Nerds yet?
We did.
We have.
Beverly Hills Cop, we did as well. We haven't done Police Academy though. The Terminator came out this year, like 84. Al Pacino Scarface, I think that was 84. Yeah, I remember now, 84. So 84 was just absolutely nuts when it came to how many movies just came out, and the fact that even lesser movies can still have some successes. Well, it's awesome to see, because it definitely makes it that much harder. But that's when competition was actually competition. And you want to talk about a part that actually, like, I think when I saw this when I was a teenager, I was like, holy shit! They actually, like, when the car, the whole like assembly drops, I was like, holy fuck. I actually thought it crushed them until I realized, oh no, it would just conveniently missed him. But damn, you want to talk about like a sudden where at first like, oh damn, dude just got crushed by a car frame assembly. Damn.
I got a couple more clips for everyone, so let's play.
Yeah.
Thank you for being Catholic and for choosing the St. Gabriel school bus.
I love that. That was the world's coolest bus driver, and here we go with the nice knock.
Whoa! Look at those babies!
Mark probably, hey, that's like, yes, this is my honor.
Well, poor guys, back in the day, you used to go to the department store and get your family photos at, Sears or Kmart or whatever. No one does anymore, but that was a big deal. And then every year, all right, kids, it's time for our family picture. And you'd get dragged down to the freaking mall and you have to wait, and the crying babies. And that was like that was a thing that you youngins didn't have to experience.
It was a normal part of my childhood. I remember, like,
right?
Oh, I think after my mom passed, I have like, I don't know how many photo albums of just me as a baby through toddler to like 5 years old. Like probably 4 or 5 of those thick fucking photo albums. Like my mom would take me like every other week. It was ridiculous. I don't know. Maybe she didn't have anything to do. There was no cable. I don't know. But it's yeah.
Well, no, but they were good photo, or quote unquote good photos. I mean, they had a good camera, and then they'd have the packages, and especially if you had siblings, they do all the siblings. They do your Christmas card photo and Christmas pictures and baby photos. So it was
Hard Body 1984.
So Dustin, oh, damn it, I forgot what I was gonna say. I straight up had to bring
Hard Bodies distracted you.
Hard Bodies had one of the best like VHS covers probably of my childhood.
Which one?
Hard Bodies.
Oh yeah, Hard Bodies. Yeah.
I don't know.
That movie is so bad. That movie is terrible.
Oh, no, I remember now. I was gonna ask you, do you know how to spell Parmesan? Like our buddy who couldn't even say it. Is like par, and the guy's just like, bro, it says Parmesan. I was like, was that the beginning, the slight beginning of the, I guess you could say, the de-evolution of the public school in a very small scale at that point? Was that and on a lesser known scale, basically? It definitely had me thinking about that. It's like, okay, so maybe it was happening to like 1 out of every I don't know how many. If I had to guess, if I had to assume that there was 1,500 schools, it probably affected 5. Now it's like more than half of them. So I was just like, oh, there is right there. When a teenager can't even say the word Parmesan, and he at least has probably at least had it several times in his life, whether it was Parmesan cheese as like a, a seasoning or chicken Parmesan. But yeah, it definitely had
That's
me
a
had me
long
thinking.
word.
Hey, but it ain't like congratulations,
I know,
though.
yeah.
I mean,
It ain't like
I pronounce it wrong all the time on purpose. I call it Parmesan.
it's okay. I still hear people at, let's just say, my employer, they still say salmon.
Salmon.
Salmon, yeah.
I
And
will
then,
call that sometimes just to be facetious, but like, I don't know.
It's okay. I one time I asked someone, "Would you like a knife for your salmon?"
A knife. I always say knife, yeah.
Knife,
Kniffy?
yeah. Oh, this Mad Mardigan's one of his favorite moments right here. Dude, straight up,
Yeah.
fuck, mad tidy white. You watch over
Dude, the
this room
80s
here.
fashion, man. I mean, like, for real.
That's what I mean. Yeah, between the fashion, the music, the bright neon colors, it was just like, wow, this is definitely like, all right. No, sorry, Putin's cat. I mean, I'm sure some are, which, hey, shout out, respect to them, but there's definitely a bit of an obesity issue. I won't go down that road since we're here to talk about a movie, but
If you're a Democrat and you like having your hair multicolored, you're in the right time zone for humanity. Welcome, and we will celebrate your fat fucking ass.
yeah, but it's not even exclusive to them too. It's just even people who aren't even heavy on social political. There's a lot of it going around. But once again, I want to derail the stream, but
Sorry,
yes,
I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't disagree, but I also know it's not exclusive to that. Obviously, that's part of it, though. I love how what's her face, Debbie comes in and she gives him a smooch as he's wearing that thing on his head, and the fact that he goes with the torch, it made me think about how would that turn out for me if I try to cook ground beef with that? What would my outcome be? I'm sure the smoke alarms in my apartment would go off like crazy.
Have you ever never sous vide a steak and then had to torch to finish it?
No, but it looks fun. It looks very fun.
Yeah.
No,
I've thought about getting one because I've got a sous vide, but I don't have the torch. I'd be like, yeah, not so much me, but anybody else in the house who would use it.
And he actually said he was welding there, and he was actually using a torch. I'm like, come on, get your dialogue right. That's not welding, but it's just being.
I'm probably gonna get clipped for this, but the only time I've ever used a torch is when I was trying to get some nuts off wheels that wouldn't come off. And if you use like a torch,
You're not supposed to use a torch on your nuts, Nick.
And then you get like the what's that bar called? I took a pipe. I took a pipe bar with a torque wrench, and I basically created a breaker bar by combining the pipe and the torque wrench and using the torch, before, and then it loosened the nuts, and it
works good, yeah.
Yeah, but I had to because those nuts are on really tight. I think it was a German car, and especially those ones are the worst because they have those they're like the reverse lug nuts. They're those stupid lug studs. I hate those things with a passion. Anyone who knows cars will probably understand this, but I'll just say putting nuts on German cars sucks. Everything about. Well, this is a car I was working on for a friend. I was doing a brake job, and I was putting in his pads and putting in the the rotor assembly and all that. And oh man, the nuts on that thing. Whew. You want to talk about that's why I'm like, I need to get I need to create a breaker bar because those nuts were too hard to get off.
If we could just have Chat GTP show Nick with 6 fingers and the breaker bar. That'd be awesome. Maybe Gemini, but he would show up black.
Take a bite to get that done. But it's true. It's true. I remember I would use jokes like that all the time. Like, hey, guys, could you come over here? When you finish working at a car, you need to use like a torque wrench to torque the nuts. But guys, could you double check and torque my nuts? Or when I back out of a car, I have a bay door. Hey, can you get in and I'll pull out? Stuff like that. Use jokes like that all the time. If you use bead sealer, I always call it I was lubing the wheel basically when you bead sealed it. Which the term bead seal sounds really wrong. Yes,
I do need some bead sealer. My tires are leaking. I need some bead sealer actually. Yeah, you come on over. It's a pain. You got to take the tires all the way off. I hate that.
This is where it sucks when you're like Nick and you're under 140 pounds and standing on the breaker bar and trying to keep your balance maintained. And
oh, I've gotten better at getting nuts off now. Like, trust me.
He's a pro now. It's a simple flick of the wrist anymore.
I'm glad that.
How are you getting rocks off though?
Like when on my current car, my Honda, a few months ago, I was on the highway and my one tire blew out, and I got out of the car in December in Illinois on I-90. And I was able to get all the nuts off, and I went and dug up for the donut spare tire, and I plopped it on, and then I went to a auto tech. I'm like, hey, could you use a torque wrench to check that my nuts are tight? And they double checked, and like, yeah, you did a good job torquing your own nuts. And I had the approval of the technicians that, I was able to just do it myself. So moral story, have a spare tire for a car. From what I'm hearing, I don't know if they're already doing it. And we'll get back to the movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, they are starting to now not have spare tires for cars.
Yeah, they have like a can of inflatable crap you can put in your.
Oh, that's worse. That's even worse.
And don't the tire shops hate those?
Tire shops. Yeah. The reason why they hate them, I can say as someone who worked in a shop, because there's two problems with it. The first problem is when people see the terms "fix a flat," it's meant to be a temporary use. A lot of people don't use it for temporary use. They think that
they use it to permanently fix it.
They hope that's a permanent fix, and then it causes worse damage. Also, the liquid, it causes corrosion not only on the rim, especially worse if it's an aluminum chrome rim, but also on the inside of the tire as well. So on the inside of the rim and the tire.
Oh, so everything,
and also for a lot of shops, it avoids any warranty you may have, and we will know if you use it. We always
you can't hide it, right?
I mean, you can't. I've had people deny it, and I'm like, no, here it is, and I'll show them a tire, and you can see the liquid, like
the white just oozing out like bad butter.
Yep,
just dribbling out like a curdled mess.
Yeah. Oh, but people will deny it. I'm like, well, we can't honor any warranty, and yeah, it happens a lot. And of course, most people, I think only one guy complained hard enough to the shop I was working at a time where they still honored the warranty, but everyone else, no warranty deal was ever honored when we use that stuff. I was at that shop for 3.5 years, but anyways. Back to our
this is one of the better lines in the movie. Yeah,
it's a great line, but there's also this is an important moment because we're introducing some notable characters. We got we got the mom, we got Cole. The dad, we got Cole, who's basically, I mean, it's not really made clear, but I guess maybe he was a guy that was with Debbie at some point. Debbie at some point. It sounds like maybe they may have kind of remade friends. So not too bad of terms, but obviously the parents still favored him because he's probably the guy who seemed a lot more proper.
His father is at the yacht club, and they take good care of their annual subscription at the country club. Why would you not want to have him as your courtesan?
Oh, shit. But Conan's here, guys. I can't wait to read your new comic tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it, man. Conan the Barbarian #8 from Titan Comics tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Have you been reading that, Mark?
No, I haven't been reading it.
You should.
I hear it's really good. Yeah.
It's great.
I always want to hear the
D
limitations of their women.
Bud's been ringing it too, and he's enjoying it. So between that and Duke #3 tomorrow, yeah. Looking forward to it. So yeah, a little bit of G.I. Joe, a little bit of Conan. But anyways, yeah, we got a lot of important characters being discussed. And now that like Cole and the dad are involved in the picture, it's clear that they're trying to plant seeds in Debbie's head. The stress of the marriage. Oh, he's not the right guy. They're clearly trying to mess with their heads and also try to see if they can buy their way out of the marriage with Rick as well. Even though Rick is
to pay him off.
Yep.
His $5,000, really?
His line actually was really great when they were right at the bus. The appliance line that he used. I don't know if he clipped that, but he had a great line. How he responded, he's like, "Oh, he's just trying to buy me off of the appliances." Whatever his exact line was, it was
it was major. Yeah, major appliances. Or let me find it. Yeah, I didn't clip it, but yeah, it was like he's like, "I've got." Let me read it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was because his delivery is great. He's like. Hanks has really got that comedy gene. So what's the line here? He says, let's say, what's the blue book value on Debbie right now? I'll give you, all right. 10,000 plus a GE toaster oven, lit and microwave, a Cuisinart. Cole, read my lips now. I'm marrying Debbie. Michelin tires, brand new. Sears best metric tools. What's going on? This big lug's in love, and he's got a lot of major appliances lying.
Yeah, that's what the lie. There's the great moment too. A little bit before we don't have to go back, but we'll at least highlight when Rick tells his friends that he's getting married, he's making the move, and his buddies are mixed feelings. Some are like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Some are like, "Oh, congratulations." But there's a great line Rudy says is like, "Let's have a bachelor party with chicks and guns and fire trucks and hookers and drunks and booze." And then
let's have a bachelor party with chicks and guns and fire trucks and hookers and drugs and booze.
Yeah. All the things that make life worth living for.
It was almost as if Gary's response was the icing on the cake to Rudy's happy rant, because he is just saying all the things, and I was just like, wow, you basically just summed up being a man in the 80s. And I mean, it's probably sadly a lesser extent now, but I'd still say there's still an extent of it. There's still a lot of dudes who those are their things in the life. The few bachelor parties I went to, the last one I went to, it was, well, this is gonna sound really gay, but it really was, no joke, it was all men. All 110% men. All of it. Like full stop. It was nothing but men at the bachelor party.
Are you just saying that now, or they really were just men? Yeah.
No. The entire night.
Yeah, it was
not a single lady even called.
Well, I remember the first bachelor party I went to was with my for my cousin, who's about 8 to 10 years, 10 years older, and it was like at a local restaurant. You get the room. But then they invited all the uncles and stuff, so they weren't doing anything crazy there. I don't know what happened after, but then they hired this comedian, and he was so filthy dirty. He had a line like, "What do you call it when your wife slides down the rail naked?" And he's like, "Warming up dinner," and like the bride, the bride's dad, his face was turned. He was getting so pissed and all these bad jokes. It's like it was like a big problem in the family, because it's like my all the older uncles or whatever that were there weren't so happy. I was trying not to laugh. I was like, oh shit.
Hey Mark, is your family kind of like a bunch of Ted Knights out of Candy Shack?
No, because we're Italian, but it was just like the straight laced, like I guess that generation, you weren't supposed to, like, they were like 40, 50, grew up in the Depression. It's like you just wouldn't, or they didn't want to laugh in front of us, maybe. I don't know, but they were pissed. They were pissed off. Yeah.
Cheers, my friend.
Yeah.
But what? Here's the thing. So when I went to that party that was all dudes, what happened was the invite got out to me at the last minute. And for my buddy who was getting married, He was just like, I found out the week of from one of our friends, and my buddy who the party's for was pissed when he found out that I didn't know about it. He's like, Al, you didn't tell Nick? Are you kidding me? How did you miss him on the damn list? And so then Scott's like, dude, I'm so sorry. Adam was supposed to have asked you. You're invited if you can come out. I know this is last minute. And I was like, dude, I'll make it. I don't care if it's a 5-hour drive. I'm gonna make it. And I straight up just told my work, hey guys, some family issues came up, and I gotta work a little shorter shift today. Family issues did come up, all right. And I didn't tell it was a bachelor party, but issues did come up, and those guys were my family, and those issues came up. So I drove up 5 hours up way up north in Wisconsin, met up with the dudes, partied my face off. I slept 1 hour, and I set up like 9 alarms. I slept 1 hour. I remember this. I slept 1 hour, and I drove back to Illinois. It was for my youngest daughter. It was her 3rd birthday. I remember she was turning 3. And not only did I make it to the party on time, I was the first one there with 1 hour of sleep after a 5-hour drive. And I thought everyone's like, oh, dude, you're still going to be late. You're going to be so tired. I'm like, you watch. I'm going to pull off a miracle. And I did. I pulled off a miracle. I remember I think I bought a box of Joe. You know how Dunkin' Donuts, they have a box of Joe?
Yeah, you can buy the whole box.
I bought a box and drank it all. I'm like, I'm going to make this happen. No one expected me to be first.
How long ago was this?
This was 2018.
I don't know, say, like, I could have probably pulled that off in like 2002, but trying to pull something like that off now would probably be like impossible. Like as you get older, like one thing I've noticed is as I've gotten older, trying to party and then function the next day on a little bit of sleep is just not a thing. Like your body's like, no. But I mean, I used to, when I was younger, I'd go to work, I'd be at work dry heaving and shit. Like I'd be like still working, dry heaving, still kind of drunk, probably a little drunker than I should have been. Nowadays, it changes.
It changed a lot whenever they started getting DUI happy. In the late 90s.
I'm sure. Yeah, no, that definitely. Especially you do see a little bit of drunk driving in this movie. From I think was it Rudy later on.
Yep.
When he takes Cole's car,
which is
freaking hilarious. Yeah, he has a beer in the car. No, oh, dude, it's freaking hilarious. But yeah, great line here. I'm not complaining, but I usually don't like my filth is cleaned. As they're trying to watch this thing. No, this is, and they're like, oh, come on.
That was pretty smart by the ladies.
It actually was. It showed you how toxic the ladies were, that they were willing to go to sink to their level.
What a waste of two. You know what happened when my buddy's bachelor parties, and they were having both the shower, the bachelorette party the same night. So we went out to strip clubs, and then the girls they went to the video store back then when you had video stores, and they rented all the tapes with all hot guys on the cover. So then we came back, we're all trash, come back late at night, and they're like, guys, we're gonna watch a porno with you. So they put these movies in that they rented, thinking they were going to be like the Chippendales, and it was all gay porn that they put on and stuff. So they're like, we'll watch it with you if you stay. And we're all dying. Like, I still have that I still see those scenes in my mind. I was like, oh no, I didn't know you could do that.
One of my buddies got me to DJ over at a strip club 3 miles from mom and dad's house. So I already was doing that. I was already DJing over there. So they had their bachelor party at the strip joint. Okay. And two of the guys were just stupidly drunk. And they were getting kind of out of hand. So I ordered some Three Wise Men for them.
Gerry, I'm so sorry.
And
Work out the good stuff.
like we were told to make the two dumbass drunks disappear, so we gave them 3 wise men, and like before like they could finish their shots, they were passed out. So we had some of our bigger guys drag them off into the parking lot and put them in the trunk of our buddy's car, and that's where they slept throughout the rest of the bachelor party. Great night.
Nice. Do you okay? Since since we're all here and we're having fun with this, I feel like we should definitely see who's had an absolutely shitty moment for bachelor party. Bruce, since you're already chatting, what was the most debaucherous thing you may have done or witnessed at a bachelor party?
If my wife is watching, what do you want me to say? No, I'm just kidding.
The worst thing I did was my buddy Adam was getting married, and he had an embarrassing encounter with dogs when he was early 20s, and in his early 30s he got married. And so I grabbed a hold of some of his clothes out of the laundry and took it over to a friend's house, and his females were in heat. And so I let the dogs play with that because we were going to be at another house that night for a bachelor party, and they had dogs there. They had German Shepherds there. And Adam got fucking like 2 times in his life. He's been like damn near sexually assaulted by fucking canines. So that's like the extent of my dickishness. It goes pretty deep.
You're
welcome.
Hold on. Carry on real quick.
Okay. Dustin, you ever done anything or had some weird stuff happen on Bachelor Party?
Oh, well, the downside of the bachelor parties that I've been to is typically like the friends that I've had that were getting married, like the women wouldn't let them do anything. So there was like, not that they weren't fun bachelor parties, they were just not what you would consider a bachelor party. Like we'd have like cigars and we'd play like card games and stuff, but there was never any debauchery. There was enough debauchery outside.
There was nothing like this, right?
There was nothing like this, no, but I encountered way more debaucherous shit outside of bachelor parties than, because most of the bachelor parties I've ever attended, or all the ones I've ever attended, have been pretty low key, like pretty tame, normie shit. But nothing like no titty bar. I mean, well, one bachelor party I was a designated driver, and we went to a couple titty bars, but it was no like I don't know. There's something about Indiana titty bars are just not that much fun.
They're better than Virginia titty bars or Fort Leavenwood's titty bars. I'll just say
they're just sad anymore. Like there's an age range for titty bars. Like if you're 21, they're amazing, and if you're like 80, they're amazing. But in the middle, you're just like
my angry dolphin.
This scene was fucking hysterical. Like the guy, even though he's being an asshole, sending the hookers over to the shower in the prim and proper neighborhood. It's kind of like a caddy. Like you said, the Caddyshack. What's the judge in Caddyshack? What's his name?
Dead Night.
And Dead Night. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this was. I was laughing again. This scene is fucking hysterical. I think they're there for the shower. It was like another one of these. That was really great. That was great.
Hey, Janet, how you doing?
Funny.
Mark, what was the absolutely wildest shit that you've seen since
at my bachelor party
thing that you did? What's the wildest shit that you saw?
I want to incriminate myself too much. I got just so freaking drunk, and then I was gone. I don't drink that much, but I was totally gone. And then my best man did get my wife's never listens. I did that. They did have a stripper at the Elks Club for me or whatever, and that was pretty damn fun. I shouldn't know. It was horrible. It was horrible. And then we went to like another local strip club after. And my buddy Vinny, he was shit faced. And he just at the end of the night, he just grabbed an ashtray, a glass ashtray, and he took it and he smashed it on the top of the bar and cut up his hand. And we're looking at him like, why the fuck did you do that? He's like, I don't know. I just felt like it. He cut up his whole hand to go to the emergency room. We're like, and then we got kicked out. He's like, what did you do? I mean, it's not crazy. It was just like, what the fuck was that for? Oh, God. But yeah, and I had some nights out in Boston. That was a pretty fun one, too. My buddy in Boston went out some places there, but nothing really too, you just go to the strip clubs and you're, hanging out, but nothing too crazy. Yeah.
Ever one we had, we were partying for a friend. I don't think it was a bachelor party, but I think it was just a party with the dudes. And one of the guys was so obliviously drunk, and we were at like a let's just say it was definitely a dance club for the Jersey Shore types of people. And for some reason, one of my buddies decides to just throw a chair. I'm not joking.
Like kind of like my friend Vinny. Yeah,
like he threw a
stupid.
chair. And I'm just reason. Like, oh crap, Joe, why'd you throw a chair? And then his response made it all the more worth it. He's like, because there was no other chairs in the air. I was like, who thinks of that?
Well, the one thing I did
obviously got kicked out.
Got kicked out, right? Yeah, like we got kicked out. Like I had to go, and then I was so trashed that I got back. Then my better, she's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "The stripper." I'm like, her boobs were so big, she was smacking me in the face with them, and it hurt. I was like, boom, boom, boom.
That's extra toxicity points if you have your wife massage the kink out of your neck from getting your head smashed into tits on your bachelor party. That's great.
They were heavy. I mean,
of course they're heavy. They're fake.
It was like boom, boom. She's like, she told me. I don't remember what happened. She's like, you were going boom, boom, boom. Like you're
oh man!
The problem is that
at least you can laugh about it.
The Porsche. All you have to do is dump Debbie. All he tries to bribe her with the Porsche, and the fact that they have Rudy. I feel like outside of Rick, I think maybe even more so. I think Rudy is the best character because now he's the guy who's just all super loud and belligerent and wants a party. What he does here, he goes to drug driving. He takes the freaking Porsche.
He perfect.
Yeah, he swoops it up, right? And not only does he come back with the paint job, but also the horn.
The horn was classic. The light covers only. It's like he gets all the money from Scarface, and he's like, "I need to slut up this Porsche. Let's make it sexy."
Oh, oh man, yeah. Anyways,
I got a toxic story I'll tell after we're done talking about this movie.
No. Well, you can share. We can share. So as we talk about, but this is another favorite moment. The fact that they go to the place where the strip club joint, the male stripper club, and they meet Nick. Hey, one Mad Morgan's favorite shots right here.
Yeah,
I'm working on that one. I was going to talk about a single character, but man, no, hold on. For Mad, if you're out there, Handy Randy, this
is for you, man.
These are your boys, Mad. I was like, your boys right there, just the way you like them, Speedos and all. Put the logo back. Yeah, put that logo back on. Is that a foot long?
One day. We were staying at this place called El Tropicana in downtown San Antonio, and I was a chemical driver for this company I worked for, C&J Energy Services. This is about 12 years ago, in 2013. And I get called as I'm getting ready for work. I don't have to go in the company van. I'm driving myself to the pad today. And it's my boss, my supervisor's like, Bruce, you need to come to the Palace, Bruce. The Palace? The fucking Palace? I look outside, there's daylight. Motherfucker, they all stayed out all night at the fucking Palace with strippers, and I was at the fucking Tropicana sleeping like a baby. So anyway, I grab my bobtail and I rumble out of the driveway, and I get over to the fucking Palace, and we pile like oh, this is gonna be racist as fuck. We get like 8 oil fields dudes piled into the bobtail, and I've got like a bed, and I've got a double bunk, which I usually leave up. Well, everybody piles in, and they just find a horizontal spot. The El Tropicana was great. They fucking closed it because of fucking COVID. Most beautiful hotel in the entire town, most historically accurate hotel in the entire town. They fucking closed it. Still pissed about that. I spent my fucking vacation there in 2014. Anyway, so we rumble to work, and I get to work. The safety meeting's over. There's like 3 people on site till I arrive. The rest of our crew arrives with me, and the fucking company man about fired us all. My boss, he lets everybody else out. It's like, Bruce, take me back to the hotel. I don't have the moxie to do this shit today. All right. So back to San Antonio I go, hour and a half there. Then I rumble back to the pad after I'm done with that. I miss my old job sometimes.
No, you should be proud, man. You should be very proud. Did your shots gloss over Nick the Dick?
I did not.
Or are we not there yet?
I think we're not there. I think he's
Not
coming
there
up.
yet.
Oh, we're so
And that was one I'm
close.
trying to. If I had more time, I gotta see what I can do for tonight. But I gotta get the.
Oh,
gotta
the
get special
mascot
effects going. Yeah,
the mascot.
Yeah, fucking
No,
amazing.
I wonder, like, when I think of movies, like, I'm trying to think what was a movie that probably had like a good responses. I would say probably The Hangover, especially like chaotic partying at a hotel involving, and there's a marriage coming up. I'd say The Hangover, if anything, was the closest thing to an actual realized sequel, even though it's not actually a sequel, because there was a 2008 movie which actually had the original screenplay writers involved, and it just happened to involve a bachelor party and has the name, but there's no Tom Hanks, there's not even Rudy, there's no cast there, and luckily, and just as fully, I made out that term, you know, it faded into obscurity as it should. There did not need to be a movie called Bachelor Party 2. If there's anything you want to call a sequel to it, I would say The Hangover is the best argument you can have. Yeah.
Have we done 1941, Nick?
No, we have not done 1941.
They're talking about it in the chat quite a bit, mainly because Winnie Jo Sperger, my sweetie, she's in that movie too.
Putin's Cabinet, yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about 1941 all through the chat. If you do the replay later,
okay. Maybe that might. Oh yeah. I see. Yeah, maybe.
Here we go.
We'll, guys, this is Chippendale's a star attraction. Mr. Nicholas, better known as Nick the Dick, and then they all get a glance. They'll do
anything for money.
Oh, the mom, Mrs. Thompson's, her express holding the guys right there. Now, here's the thing: does he rival Dolph Lundgren?
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
I think he comes up short compared to Dolph.
Oh, he don't match the Lundgren according to the Bruce.
Superior engineering with Dolph.
You know, it's just you don't beat the Drago. You can't even put. You have to use 2 buns for Dolph Lundgren's. 2
long bun.
Wish I had someone that was in my every thought. Somebody I could spend all my time with. Somebody I could really respect. Hey, look at the cans on that bimbo.
Prost, everyone.
That was
You guys remember Adrian? That's Adrian Zemed from Dance Fever. Or was it Dance Fever or what was the dance show he was on? And then he was on TJ Hooker with the Shatner for years as a cop.
Wow.
He started on Dan. I think it was Dance Fever. It was, and he was in Greece too.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah. And
a good idea. We should use a Dolph emoji for people who've
been actually started on Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, Dolph emoji. We'll do it for
The
people.
Dolph emoji could be half dolphin, half eggplant.
He was also in Flatbush as Sox Palermo.
Oh, that's perfect. That
God,
way,
look at her
people-
face.
for
She
the
wants to
people
be.
who've been the members the longest. Oh, yeah. We
The more
reward
you
our-
grow.
Great
Oh.
scene. This is a great scene.
The
Yeah,
fact
this is
that
awesome.
she can't get her hands off it too, even though she's stunned, mesmerized, and traumatized all in one. As if that was possible, well, it was. Oh God, our boy here, he has a little shafting he has yet to witness too. It's on, and Nick the Dick isn't the only shaft he sees. As you can see, his face right, he experiences one who goes to the bathroom later. Dude, I don't know how that shit. That's when you know his character in this movie has never been with a girl, because that shit should have been so obvious, even in the 80s. Even in the 80s, like, where's Crocodile Dundee? Like, boy, look at this guy right here. You couldn't tell? It's so obvious. Seriously, it was.
Oh, here's Adrian Zemed on Dance Fever.
Wow.
Mad would love this.
My God, all that baby face wasted.
Oh, that baby face wasted. Yeah, but he was a big time hunk back in the day. And
He was Tiger Beat, baby.
Tiger Beat, right? He was like another John Travolta. So, but he's good in this movie. He's
No, he is good. He's
a
got
good job. Yeah,
he does
Ooh.
have a great character. He definitely is someone who's trying to be, a supporter for Rick to actually, make something of it. And and also him, Rick, they obviously love to party, but there is a heart, there is morality to Rick, despite all the crazy mayhem. He does still have a part of him that does mean good at the end of the day. And this is something that clearly gets glossed over, especially by a lot of the soy boys on IMDb with their Cuckosaurus Rex reviews. They really don't pay attention to stuff. And that's clearly done with intent, because they're only looking at the philosophy of the movie. It's
and what a
unfortunate.
great show TJ Hooker was. Yeah. Oh,
TJ Hooker was a good show. Never once heard of Dance Fever though.
I was not watching it every
really
week. If someone's
called that?
in the chat.
That was really called that at the time.
Yeah, it was Dance Fever. Yeah, it was Dance Fever. It was on every week.
No, TJ Hooker.
Oh, TJ Hooker. Yeah, with Shatner. With the shot.
Yeah, Shatner was
Hooker, with Adrian Zemed and Heather
No,
Locklear.
what?
Oh yeah, and
Oh.
Shatner, he rides on the joke, and then he was on Saturday Night Live. He always tracks down the bad guy, and he jumps on the windshield and holds onto the windshield wipers for 6 miles or whatever. He rides the top of the car all the time in that show.
Get away from me, Cuckosaurus Rex. Marr, I'm Cuckosaurus Rex, and I don't like fun. Marr! Oh, God. What a terrible day.
Are you the pimp? Yes. You look like Gandhi. I bet girls to sit on your face. I'm telling you, I am Joe. No, I this is a great small character in the movie. The pimp.
I'm distracting here, but yeah, this is
No,
this is
go
the
ahead.
chat. There's on TJ Hooker. I gotta see if he's they usually have a picture of
Heather
him,
Locklear, is that what that was? That
Heather Locklear. Yeah, who wants to be arrested now?
I would completely get ugly for her to put cuffs on me.
Wow.
She went from that to Firestarter 1983. Hell yeah.
Okay. Okay. Ugh. Yeah.
This is pretty toxic here too. He's telling the guy looks like Gandhi. Come on, you can't do that.
I thought that was whole.
Did you ever
Well, don't
see-
forget the boys at the very beginning on the bus, where they're all going nuts on the bus, and one of them's going through a Playboy magazine too. The fact that he's a bus driver for a Catholic school. This is his life outside of his. Fucking hilarious. And apparently, according to Tom Hanks, take it with a grain of salt. Apparently, he said his Rick character was basically influenced by his high school life. So I'm like, okay, I makes sense, especially since that's the character Rick. Now, the actual Bachelor Party. This is, I don't know how much of you know this in chat. I'm sure at least a few of you do, but this movie is slightly, and you could decide whether it's a yes or no, but I would say it's a yes and no. It's slightly based on a true story. And how that is the producer, Bob Israel, said this movie is basically based off his Bachelor Party. Now, however, he wasn't specific about which events did or did not happen. But basically, he had a Bachelor Party that he said was very much like this, circumstances and all. And this is what he had. And that's what he's like, okay, hey, we should do this for a movie. Can you imagine if he had a dead animal in an elevator, or the people walk around the outfit, or a bow and arrow being shot at you from across the hall from another hotel?
Crossbow quarrel, but you're good.
A Porsche being stolen. Everything, or having a guy being hung up by a freaking bed sheet off a freaking rail from a bed frame.
There's that fucking Porsche. This is the best part of the fucking movie, I thought.
Dude.
Awesome.
Incredible.
It looks great, actually.
No, here's the thing. I actually like
I drive the shit out of
fire
that.
design. I actually do like the fire design. But for me, what really sealed the deal was the horn. Because obviously he's trying to sound off him that he's pissed, and it just does the whole opposite sounding sound of it. No question the logic on how the paint job got done this quick. Just roll with it, though. This movie's kind of
a movie.
There's some parts where you definitely do have to suspend your disbelief. That's one of them, and especially later on, even with the A, there's some parts like that doesn't make a little bit of sense. I'll happily acknowledge those flaws, but I can have fun because I'm invested in the fun and the ridiculousness of the movie. But yeah, there will be lawsuits. This would probably be on the news in the social media age. This would definitely be talked about. Disastrous party. Maybe they probably even be called terrorists nowadays. Sadly, like who knows? You can't even put it past the news nowadays. Disastrous white man party at a hotel run by a non-white guy. That sounds like a headline for something realistic.
That sounds like a headline you could see. Brought to you by Chat Gemini.
Catch. Oh, and the ladies decide they're gonna get back at them by dressing like hookers. Now they did get a memorable anthem out of the movie. I'll give them credit for that. But I don't know how they just like the hookers was going to be the own, besides the one scene later on where she thought it was a way of testing Rick with cheating, non-cheating, even though he clearly spotted from away. But I know, was like, it's funny, but this isn't the own that you think that it is. And Tina, man, she shows off how pissed she is later in the movie. Oh, man, she is pissed. Oh, that's another thing. Obviously, and I'm glad my memories come back. That shot when she gets the news about Rick getting married and she had his finger up the old guy's bunghole.
She was testing for prostate, sir.
Yeah.
Up his bunghole. And she had that index finger as she is trying very hard to touch Rick about it. She wanted to congratulate him, and she had to be hands-on about it. It's just like, get your hand away. Like, holy crap. Wow. And then all of a sudden he lets off the but hookers. I was like, oh, bro, you're a ruin. You're gonna be your own undoing for your party, man. Don't ruin it with her, because clearly she's definitely a ruiner. She doesn't have the self-awareness to keep her hands away after she put up someone's bunghole. Yeah. You can't trust her. She's basically the undercover cop of this movie, basically, for her side for her team, basically. I do girls like bad boy. Oh, here we go. Here, our boy here is about to get he's about to get an eggplant lesson of life. This should have been obvious. Even once again,
I
even
saw
with the
the
80s.
fucking look at that. Look at that fucking Adam's apple. Look at that Adam's apple.
Yep,
He's
Adam's
drunk
apple.
and hasn't gotten it in a long time.
Or
Here's
maybe even
one of the
debatably
better.
Leave
ever.
Mad's date alone.
Here's one of the better lines in the movie.
And as lifelong friends, I say, gentlemen, start your boners.
We were over at Cheers in Laredo one night, and we had this one guy, Houdini Mike. Houdini Mike would get on a job site, and he would just disappear. He would just poof, and he'd be sleeping somewhere. We don't know where he'd sleep, but he'd sleep. And then whenever it was time to go home, he'd magically appear, get in the van, and go home with us.
Mhm.
Well, one night at Cheers in Laredo, he was getting drunk out of his ass. He's only like 160 pounds, 5'8", little Mexican guy, real nice guy, but he's just an asshole on the job site, and it kind of fucks the rest of us out of his help, and so we get extra work. Well, little Mike, Mike is drunk, and he's dancing with a woman that looks just like the dude that took off into the happy room with the little guy. That's a nice big Adam's apple. The rest of us see it, and my buddy Noe is like, "Man, I gotta tell Mike. I gotta go tell Mike not to go fuck it." And I'm like, "Noe, shut the fuck up. Stay here. Here's a beer. Drink this. Don't fucking get up. Don't tell Mike. He's dancing with a fucking tranny." And Noe's like, "No, Bruce, that's just wrong, man. That's just wrong." I'm like, let him discover it on his own. God damn it, you're fucking up. You're fucking up the curve. And he's like, "Bruce, man, you're wrong, man." I'm like, don't fucking take this away from me. And I'm there being dragged behind by this big Mexican guy named Noe. He's like 6'4", 240 pounds. And I am squeaking behind him. My feet are just going across the dance floor as Noe is going towards Mike, and Mike is got his face in this fake rack, and this tranny is there. We can see the fucking boner on the skirt, and Noe's like, "Hey, Mike, I gotta talk to you." And Mike's like, "Man, get away, bro. This one's mine. Man, get away, bro." I'm like, see, Noe, don't do this. Don't fucking take away my joy. God damn it. Noe would not get away from Mike, and Mike was trying to shove Noe away because, Noe's a big motherfucker. He could probably have a horse stick. Nobody else would ever get a woman if Noe fucked it.
And don't ruin my joy. Your timing of your delivery of dialogue is very oddly well in sync with what we're witnessing here with this line.
So fucking
my
Noe,
name is Tim. I'm always available.
Fucking Noe finally fucking gets it out of his mouth because he's about 12 or 13
that's what
years
she
in,
said.
And Noe says, "Mike, it's got a dick." And I'm like, Mike pulls his head out of this dress of fake stuffed titty, and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "God damn it, Noe! Stop!" And he's like, "It's got an Adam's apple." "Noe, shut the fuck up! I'm gonna get embarrassed. Come on." I fucking called Noe's wife. I said, "Don't give him any pussy when he gets on his days off. Fuck that guy."
Wow. Stay your brain, by the way. No, the fact that he saw that, like he saw our so obviously when I first saw this movie way back when, I assumed that okay, maybe there's a possibility that she was just like a manly looking lady, even though to me it was very obvious. But I said, okay, maybe I'm being deceived here. Because they came out, how he came out and said how they're talking about how they're having babies. He gave off that impression like they fucked. I'm thinking he will obviously have recognized the dong. So I'm like, okay, maybe they just kissed, or he like got a blowy from him, and then he realized later on, oh, I didn't even see him below the belt. And so he realized he got blown by a dude, or he macked it with a dude. Which do you think happened, or both? Nothing? Yeah, you don't want to imagine the visual image of the possibility.
I mean, you know the clip.
Like, I don't know if it's gay unless you like make eye contact while there's the blowjob. The blowjob's not that gay.
It's not.
Well, there was definitely eye contact because, as he said, he said they were talking about marriage and stuff like that. We got the clip. Yeah, so yeah, I should have just followed up with a clip. I just was genuinely looking for a response from the guys, but since now I'm gonna ask again, what do you think is what happened, or should we just leave?
I think he got serviced. He was pleasured. Leave it at that. But
I think you had a relief.
I'm sure he arrived.
Yeah.
And he's probably better for it. A little open-minded now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. His horizons were expanded.
It was painful watching this movie and now seeing Mads on her perfect tits.
Is your alcohol sinking? I heard that.
I want to motorboat that, but it'd be motorboating Mads' face.
But, you know, that can hurt, though. That could really hurt. I know
Like
from
Jeffrey
experience.
Marsh.
Maybe you should motorboat Mad Mardigan's face. You should. Oh, dude, this is something like Monkey Jeebus would do, where he'd add like a man's face right here on it, and he said,
God bless you, Monkey Jeebus, wherever you are tonight, sir. You're awesome.
Seriously, like the fact. Oh, yeah, the nun, and then don't go back on your word, Rick.
It's just as awesome.
Strong. Go for it. Why you nuts? Look at my. They're perfect. I can hear Gilbert Gottfried saying that type of line.
And there's a special treat coming up on one of these. There we go. Which one is better? This one?
Oh, man.
Or
By
that
a
one?
landslide, it's not even close. Man Mardigan. he defines this, dare I even say.
I'm just mad.
Oh, dude. It was fun having him on the shitless Sunday night. He says he does plan on coming back for an episode or two soon, though. So that's the good news.
Why doesn't he? How come he hasn't been coming on?
Dude, I don't know.
It's date night probably for him, I think.
Yeah, he's probably got men in his bushes.
This
that
used to
he
be our
found.
date night too, but I mean, shit.
Yeah, I know, right? Now he got men in his bushes, and now Mad has a bush on his face too.
Another one of these, huh? Looks that way. Buck's a buck. Yep.
You know everybody here,
Whip.
Is there an empty outlet around here?
God, Tina's face. She's present. Tina's face. She's acting like she saw like a death-based event or something.
They're at a Tupperware party, right? They're at a
Oh,
Tupperware
yeah.
party.
They're basically at like
what is
a
this
tea party, basically. Like, oh, look at my fancy drink.
You know, rich people like that be like some eyes wide shut shit anyway. So I don't want to see this shit. You know, they'd be more debaucherous than a couple of hookers coming over.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if anything, they were pretty tame on them at that party, even though they're originally supposed to be at Rick's party, but they got moved over because Cole was trying to derail things. But hey, look, they were trying to get hookers at the party. So what man, he's kind of a bitch. I gotta say that. Like he's a really petty bitch. Like
It's always that way. Like whenever like the rich dad, the rich mom want their daughter to be with some asshole.
Yep.
He's always an asshole.
Yeah.
Remember, like he was a rich guy who's nice.
I mean, go ahead, Dustin.
I was like, that's the trope. I mean, like and it wasn't till Meet the Parents, so that trope was kind of broken. Where the ex-boyfriend was like super rich, but he was like super nice too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, come on in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
No,
But usually
I
they're
get
just
what
assholes.
you're saying. I get what you're saying. You're making a lot of sense, actually, in my opinion. So I'm with it. No, I get it. No, I like with them because with Gaylord and Fokker, they had the great name, first name, great last name, and the fact that he was also a male nurse, which is at the time what seemed to be, as far
Yeah.
as mainstream, it was not as common. So it made sense, and there should have never been sequels to it. They should have just left that the first movie.
They really should have just left it alone. You're right.
It was definitely one of those. There's only one movie. We didn't need sequels. Definitely, once again, yet another movie we're going to add to the list of series of movies that didn't need a sequel, much like The Matrix.
Conan the Barbarian.
Where's Conan?
No, Conan the Barbarian. It did not need a sequel.
Oh yeah, it did not need Conan the Destroyer. I can't remember who said, but there's so was it Gerry?
It's a good D&D movie, but it's a terrible film.
It was someone said somewhere in Destroyer there's a good movie in there somewhere. I can't remember who said that, and I gotta hear the argument again. But was it Andre? I saw in chat. If you know who I'm talking about, someone said that, and I don't remember. But someone within our sphere said somewhere in Destroyer there is a good movie in there somewhere. I don't see it, but someone did say that in our sphere. I do know that.
They just neutered it because it was PG-13, like with just PG, wasn't it?
It was PG-13 with Olivia Dabo, like the most dreamy girl of 1984 that we could have had, and like they kept her clothes on. Are you fucking serious? Give me Deathstalker.
We still haven't done Conan the Barbarian.
Agreed, Soul Assassin. There's a good D&D movie there, but it's a terrible film.
We will do Conan the Barbarian. Oh, so yeah, all right, Diva. He knows where I'm at. I think Andre said because I asked how he felt about the Destroyer. I gotta listen to his argument again. What he said. Thank you, OAW. Yeah, I need to hear his argument because to maybe rethink that, because at the time I think I don't know about that. I mean, I appreciate Andre's enthusiasm, and I know if one man knows Conan, it's him. Like, I'm not gonna question his knowledge. I wouldn't even come close to even try. I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna question his knowledge, but I would like to definitely rehear what he had to say on that, because I remember thinking at the time, maybe it's because it was fresh in my ears and I was already not a fan of Destroyer, but maybe I just gotta re-listen. Like White Man Can't Jump, but we said I gotta not just hear him, but I gotta actually listen to him. But anyways, yes, we will definitely talk Conan, guys. Anyways, great part here with Cole stuck. Now, this is once again one of the few scenes where the humor is great, but your suspension of disbelief does need to get tested, because when he drops on that car, granted, I know for the comedy factor, it was fun and funny, having his ass line on the roof window of the car. But his ass should have been like on a wheelchair. Think about that. His ass should have been on a window. Oh, hey Bob, this beats the shit out of sushi, doesn't it? Most stereotypical scene ever. Oh man, I love that. I'm like, of course they gave him the dun type of music. I'm like, of course they couldn't shy away. So, anyways, I want to bring it back to people who were originally going to be in this movie as we get to the toxic part here.
Kelly McGillis was not considered pretty or sexy enough.
And Paul Reiser. There's also, not only was that issue with Kelly McGillis' character, but also Paul Reiser. Apparently, Paul and Kelly were not considered to have had good chemistry.
I just can't believe that me and Kelly just didn't have chemistry. Like, we didn't have chemistry. We didn't have it. So I had to go rehearse with Sigourney Weaver. And this was going from a 7 to a 4. Man, I got demoted.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I don't see that casting. I know Reiser went on to do Beverly Hills Cop, so it kind of works out for him. He didn't really like lose ultimately. If anything, he may have won even more so, because obviously Beverly Hills Cops was one of the biggest movies of the year, bar none. So no complaints there.
He had
But
a pretty good career. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he had a good
He
career.
had a wonderful TV career.
Mad about
Mark,
you.
As we see our after our Togo boy land his ass like in the car, does it feel weird that like he was not in, like a wheelchair or even on crutches? Like the fact that he was able to just walk right back up at the
Yeah,
hotel.
he should have been mostly dead. If not
Yeah,
all dead.
mostly dead.
He should have been splattered so hard.
Yeah. And like,
'Cause
how
he's
toxic is that to tie the guy out the fucking window? It's like
That's a
Christ
great
almighty.
that's a great way to handle that situation. I gave him props.
Oh,
Right.
how I love the idea of what they did. I thought it was great. I thought it was outstanding. But the fact that when they had him land, I was like, that's even more video
the
gamey
fucking
than
window.
anything on John Wick 4. And I say that as a fan of John Wick Chapter 4. Because I know that movie definitely tests the suspension of disbelief as well. But man, that one was just like pegged him good. I mean, yeah, his asshole definitely took a good pegging when he landed on that car.
I clicked on the slideshow back.
Cosmic, do you not like Tawny Katane?
Yeah.
Do you not like Tawny
Tony Katane.
Don't you know that she was on the cover of some very influential hard rock and glam metal albums of the 1980s? How can you not like Tawny Katane?
Speaking of critics, while Mark's refixing his slideshow, I want to highlight a review Mark brought up to my attention. It's from Roger Ebert. And I'll read through this fairly quickly in probably 2 minutes. Roger Ebert, of all the people, gave this movie a thumbs up and 3 stars. How? I don't know, but he did. And I'm not saying that towards like this, whether I agree or disagree. I'm saying that because this doesn't seem like Roger Ebert to do that. It seems almost very out of character, and I wonder if he had either a lot of drugs or alcohol or both.
I was on diabetics meds at the time. I'm sorry.
Well, I think he likes these kind of movies, though. Remember, Ebert wrote a pretty raunchy movie.
Okay, yeah, maybe
He did a porno.
Oh, what?
We wrote what was the screenplay? Wrote it was a porno movie or a very hardcore movie. What was
I don't.
Screenwriter.
I should. Yeah,
so let me look it up. Yeah, it was. Can't remember the name of it offhand, but he was a screenwriter for a movie that got made. It was pretty hardcore back at the time, and that was the 70s. Yep. Let's see. It was Beyond the Valley. Was it Beyond the Valley? The Dolls. Was that it?
I don't.
I think that's what.
Beyond the Valley, the Dolls got made though, didn't it? His movie didn't get made.
Yeah, it got made. Yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So he produced Beyond the Valley of the Dolls with Russ Meyer. Yep. And it was an NC-17 movie, so it was pretty. Became a cult classic. Yeah, and he also wrote. They did Up and Beneath the Valley, Ultra Extra Vixens.
Wow.
Do you think we could ever do Pink Flamingo?
Oh my god, that would be such a fucking great fucking show.
Yes.
But if the chat doesn't know movies, chat, get educated. Get on Nick's Gilded server. If I find out that Nick's going to be doing a movie, go into the movies tab and I'll try to find the link. You might have Farsi at the bottom of the screen. Shut the fuck up. I'll get it there.
Because I remember the first time I saw Pink Flamingo, I was watching it and I had like no idea what I was getting into. So, yeah.
We'll touch it, guys. Anyways, I'm gonna bang this review. Bachelor Party is 1984's version of the annual summer food fight movie. With a movie like this, it doesn't really matter whether anyone actually throws mashed potatoes across the room. What matters is whether the movie is faithful to the spirit of Blotto Bluto in National Lampoon's Animal House when he yelled, "Food fight!" and the madness began. The story this time is about this guy who decides to get married, and his friends decide to throw him a bachelor party. That's about it. The first half of the movie sets up the party, and the second half of the movie is a party. He's right. I actually agree. Both halves of the movies are raunchy, chaotic, and quite shameless in aiming at the lowest possible level of taste, of course. I disagree on lowest level, highest level. The bachelor in the movie is played by Tom Hanks. He was a guy from Splash, who the mermaid fell in love with. I didn't think he was all that terrific in Splash. I thought he was miscast, and they should have gone for somebody who was less of a conventional leading man. But in Bachelor Party, he's a lot more funny, and I enjoyed the performance. He plays the kind of guy who goes over to his fiance's house for dinner and drops table scraps onto the floor in case they have a dog. He has a great one-liner when he has to introduce himself to his fiance's nerdy ex-boyfriend. The name is Bond. James Bond. Which I thought that part was hilarious. During the chaos of the party itself, one of his primary roles is simply to direct traffic. The idea during the party, I think, is to approximate the spirit of one of those Jack Davis drawings in Mad Magazine, where dozens of people are running around like crazy, and down in the corners you could see strange little figures doing inexplicable things. Most of the gags depend on varieties of public embarrassment, and some of them are pretty funny, especially when the women decide to have their revenge by visiting a male go-go bar. Is Bachelor Party a great movie? No. Why do I give it 3 stars? Because it honors the tradition of a reliable movie genre, because it tries hard, and because when it is funny, it is very funny. It is relatively easy to make a comedy that is totally devoid of humor, but not all that easy to make a movie containing some genuine laughs. Bachelor Party has some great moments and qualifies as a raunchy, scummy, grungy, blotto-bluto memorial. Huh. Okay. There's things I agree with and disagree with on that. But okay. Anyways.
It's a review.
It's a review. And let's get to the horse. I mean,
the donkey.
The donkey. That donkey doing cocaine had me freaking crying because it's like the creature was like, oh yeah, I've done this. I know how to do this. Like the fact that thing just did so perfectly. I was like, wow. That thing strip was snorting it like line to line in order.
It
like
was
a freaking pro.
Belushi.
Now that is something, and that I was just like, wow, this animal has done this before. Okay. So that's how it is. Go ahead, Mark. I mean, Bruce, sorry.
Well, I was just saying hi to Phoenix Knight. They came in. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Phoenix Knight. Get over here. Drink a beer.
Yes, drink a beer. Enjoy the party. And Mr. Thompson is about to have an episode that he's never going to forget for the rest of his life. As this, he thinks he's going to be the guy that ruins everything when he's going to be the guy who gets ruined. When his daughter catches him because obviously he didn't want to be in the position that he's put in. But it's a great damn laugh for us. Rick, I knew you were vile, disgusting, but bestiality. This goes beyond my wildest dreams. Whoa, so what are you thinking about, Mr. Thompson? What's he saying when he says his wildest dreams? Is he telling us that he thinks about those things too? Because that's pretty weird, man. Not so much a Puritan, are we? Just saying. Oh God, yeah. What a great set from his buddy. Once again, another reason why he was one of the great characters. But Rudy's still a little bit better for the energy. But he's good too. He's good too. Relax. I got it. I got this. I actually thought he was gonna screw him over at that part. I remember thinking, "Oh, dude, you really was gonna be the one to ruin it all." But nope, ends up not being the case. Ooh.
I'm telling you all, that donkey had more sex than anyone else at that party.
Do you think PETA would be up the wazoo about them doing this in the movie?
I think PETA would be sending letters and footage to every major network possible. I couldn't believe it! Look at what the debauchery of this film is! Oh my god! They are doing this to Donkey, one of heaven's creatures! You're welcome.
Thank you, Bruce. That was yeah, that pretty much sums up PETA, really. There's that one.
And the fucking belly dancer gets outshined. She's like the hottest woman in the entire film. I'm going to dedicate my spank session after this stream to completely nutting to the scenes where she's jiggling her assets. I love her for 4 minutes.
Bruce is the Rudy of the panel. He really is the Rudy at the panel. But the horse is more memorable than her.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Not I know I keep saying the horse, but
Donkey.
the mule.
Donkey.
Sorry, guys.
Donkey.
The fact that that thing snorted the lion and then gets all skippity and then just drops dead. And then they put it in the elevator. Oh my god.
He found all the cocaine. He literally turned into John Belushi in this movie and found it all.
And the freaking the desk attendant goes in the elevator.
Hotel manager fucking nailed it. Donkey went down for a very successful career in the Shrek series.
This movie had lawsuits, cancellations for everything it did, hanging a man from several stories up in freaking bed sheet tie-ins, the dead animal on the freaking elevator.
Wait, have they showed Daddy yet? Have they showed Daddy Dearest?
No, they have not showed
Okay.
Daddy yet.
Yeah,
there's
then
that.
Here's Madam Wet Panties as she dives into a pile of little Japanese men.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is so
Give me
much
that
better than
5-inch stiff
sushi.
cock.
This is so much better than sushi. I was just like, yep. And once again, another little thing that would have not been like it would have not passed because you can't go for the stereotype. Oh,
Woo! Micah J, that mule lived, goddammit! He had a time of his life! That man had rights.
but yeah, they spot Debbie from miles away, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna lure her in," and she doesn't know that they know because she's thinking she could test him, but really, he was basically just trying to get with her this entire time. He was a good boy. He was a good boy. Rick was, despite all things. He just was being drunk. That's
He
all.
don't know that she don't know that they know that I know.
And if anyone's gonna rat you out at something like this, it would be at something like this. Because think about it, you're at a party with all these type of people. You got people who are there because, well, they were being taken from a pimp. They have no loyalty to a guy like Rick. They have no reason to cover for him, unless he was like, Elon Musk rich and bought them all off. But obviously, Rick is far from that. Far from it. He doesn't have a Porsche either. He doesn't have the approval of the dad. It's just, yeah, it actually is like, okay, I get with this. I get with this. Oh, yeah, then the phone calls to the hotel. I'm trying to sleep. I'm surprised. Like, it's amazing no one got shot when Cole was trying to shoot the arrows. Not one. It's a miracle that not one of them did. Because you think, okay, at least one of these people who's like drunk or drugged out of their mind would have gotten hit. It would have been funny if like maybe like Rudy got hit in like the ass and something. So I'm like, oh, my ass. Then they could have taken that scene amazingly out of context to make a good gay joke out of it. But no, that didn't even happen. Damn you, Rick. Yeah, Cole. Okay, yeah. I guess we could argue that Cole is a bad.
Cole would be the cop that hears the acorn hit his cop car.
Oh, huge cat. Imagine if Alec Ball was the producer.
Oh shit.
Oh god.
I don't got the Toxic Man Food clip of the gunshot going off, but maybe I'll finally get a soundboard and we'll finally play that. Finally. I don't got that though, but thank you, Go. Thank you though.
Well, I do have a special treat for everyone tonight. Handy Randy's not here, unfortunately, but I hope you guys enjoy this.
Everybody else want a hot dog?
Oh
I
man!
think Matthew finds out where I live.
Give a stranger. Give a stranger.
That's why we got a
Wow.
PO box.
P.O. box.
So people can't find us.
Mark is good with technology. It's all I've got to say to that. Putin's cat. Yes, of course he would have loved that. It was a great line when Rick and Debbie are basically about to like part ways before they reunite. Where she said, you promised me you won't like do anything. He says, I swear on my mother's grave, and she's like, she's still alive. He's like, well, if I go back on my word, I'll kill her.
I love that part. God, I love that part.
It's so. Oh
My mother's
man.
grave. She's still alive. Well, if I fuck up, I'll go kill her.
The car is low mileage and hell's like a dream. Well, so does Debbie. Gentlemen,
That's a great line.
I'd go for the car. I'm not an incel, but I know a Porsche when I see it.
Gentlemen, start your motors. Oh, Kai, come on in. Drugs to the right, hookers to the left. Yeah, I had a weeder right in my hand. The food prison riots are made out of. Yeah, this just line once again. This brings. I'm glad I'm mentioning all these great lines. That guy who directed the Dune movies, he said that really stupid. I can't pronounce his name.
Duvenu.
Duvenu.
I think, yeah. I think.
Yabba Dabba Doo. We'll just call him Yabba Dabba Doo. Yabba Dabba Doo is going off about dialogue in movies. And I'm like, what?
Tom had a good response to him. Was it Tom, I think? Or
Tom did.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, does this guy not watch comedy movies? Because obviously, besides especially like the physical comedy types of movies, but a lot of movies are very, very dependent on sticking in your head dialogue. Even a lot of great dramas, obviously action movies. I mean, especially Arnold movies, all about the one-liners. What the fuck kind of shit was he saying with that?
Well, I think he was trying to say how, part of it made sense where movies are gonna, you want them to be epic and visual. We're on the big screen, but it's
I agree.
But the other half of it's moronic, where it's like that's what makes a great movie. Like Darth Vader, right? He looks epic, but he's also got badass lines. So that's why you love or scared of the character. Not he's scary visually, but when he cracks
scary visually. But what's the line heard round the world? No, I am your father.
Yeah.
Because of dialogue.
Your lack of faith. I find your lack of faith quite disturbing. So.
That was a retarded response. Oh, here we go, Mr. Thompson. Bastard.
He's locked in the yeah.
He had
of course
it.
his daughter's fiance though is a school bus driver. No offense to school bus drivers. He's like this really rich guy. So you almost can see why he wouldn't care about if his daughter was really in love with the guy. He just wants her to marry, someone that's another rich dude and who drives a Porsche. He doesn't give a crap. So look at the clothes he's wearing there.
Cole, you should have been dead. No offense. But the fact that you took that drop and your ass just pops in the car. Seriously.
Holy crap.
He should have been dead. If any of us fell like that, even on a car, like that's not a safety net.
That's a rectal failure that's going to happen the rest of your life.
Like seriously, like his bunghole would have problems like taking the Browns to the Super Bowl for the rest of his life. He probably couldn't have a first down. He couldn't even. His blowouts would be bigger blowouts than ever. The fumbles.
I don't know if he'd have a blowout or just tumbles out and he needs a diaper. Gravity causes problems.
I did not notice that. Holy shit. He said Rudy grabs a dick. Oh, look, he's like, oh no, not her.
Yeah.
See,
she pees standing up.
He should have been more toxic and say, oh no, not him.
To me, Rudy is this movie.
Oh, yeah. He's the spirit of all the mayhem. He's the spirit animal, as they like to say nowadays. A lot of the kids like to say that term. Which I actually don't mind that term. As far as modern lingo goes, I feel like that's one of the cooler terms.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit animal. I think it's one of the cooler terms that's come out of modern lingo for all the cringy ones that have come out. Every now and then you get a good one in the bunch.
Well, I like his charisma, or what they call the Riz, in this movie. He's really pulling off some high fucking marks in this film. Like he's almost like at that level of like where the Menudo lead singer was in 1983.
He's the ultimate warrior of the movie. Every time he speaks, he screams, and every time he screams, he goes on about what he wants to do. I'm like, okay, so you're the ultimate warrior. I love it. They should just throw some face paint on him, give him some matoids.
I think he's trying to channel Belushi a little bit here too.
I could see that. I could definitely see the Belushi in Rudy's character. Yeah. Outside of Rick, I'd say, for me, Rudy is definitely one of the best characters. He's definitely that character, like, you feel, it almost feels like if you had to be the viewer, you had to look through one of the characters, it would have to be him, because you come to this movie for the party. You do come to it for the party, and you happen to also get a layer of story with Rick and Debbie.
Yeah, but
that's the meat to the bone.
But Barry Diamond, the actor that played him, like he has played Rudy ever since then, because he was in Twice Dead, House Party, The Five Heartbeats, House Party 2, Public Enemy No. 2. He did Pat Buckles as in a Seinfeld episode, which that was kind of funny. He was on a few other episodes, Parenthood, Friends, and then he was in House Party from 2023. He played the cop, but he's played the same guy throughout his entire career. What a fucking way to go. What a way to pay your mortgage.
Hell yeah, by being an animalistic monster. I mean, Farley was the same way during his short set. He was just his super physical comedy style, but when something ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
Yeah.
That's why it worked when he was killing it on those SNL skits, Tommy Boy.
Black Sheep.
Black Sheep was great, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a movie we could do, maybe.
Oh, no, we do got to do Black Sheep. It's really unfortunate that one doesn't get as much attention, I feel like, as it should.
I think that's one of his best films, and it's such a good vehicle for Bo Derek and Brian Dennehy, too.
I agree. Strongly agree. Brahma mentioned another one earlier when he was on Poor Choices, Kingpin.
Oh,
we haven't done Kingpin.
No, we haven't done Kingpin yet.
We should though. Kingpin is right up our alley. And
I just can't stand the scene where, spoiler, he loses his hand. That scene kills me every time.
Yeah.
I can't watch that shit. It's weird when it seems like more like a slasher movie doesn't bother as much as something like that. You know, like at a bowling alley or something. Yeah. And here's the Debbie line here.
What a decision I have to make here.
I would hate to be in your shoes, pal. Low mileage, it handles like a dream.
Well, so does Debbie.
That's awesome. Awesome line thrown in there.
Oh,
so good.
That's what that was. It was poetry.
There's no sense in going off half-cocked.
Oh my God, the cock.
I should find that with Mads dancing, I think.
What a decision.
Beautiful. Yeah, I like when Tom Hanks does comedy. He's definitely for me. He's one of those guys who succeeds the male hole. That man, legit creepy janitor guy. They really weighed in on that stereotype. The creepy janitor guy. But man, Cole is such a loser, especially for a guy who's rich too. He could easily do so many other things, and he's just like, "This is the thing I'm gonna do." If anything, he's just an incel that happens to be rich.
Yep.
That's what I'd say as the argument. Because Rick is the guy where he may look more like the incel, but as far as his way of life, he was just a very lively man. What's so incel-ish about that? I mean, seriously, what's inside? I mean, if we have any objections on the panel, I'd like to hear it, because to me, that I feel like it's like kind of had it backwards in that regard. No one.
Well, I like Tom Hanks better
that.
in Bosom Buddies than I did.
It
in
is.
this
I
film.
mean, it's backwards.
Okay, carry on, Bruce.
Well, no, I just feel Tom Hanks. I like this character a lot more in Bosom Buddies because I guess the work he did with Peter Scolari, they bouncing off each other. Then you have Wendy Jo Sperger just being like the one person that knows who's exactly in the hotel with him.
Okay.
I felt like that was a really good role. This movie here, I kind of hated Tom Hanks in it because he was just he's very obnoxious and very, I guess, boring is the word I hate to use, but yeah, he felt really boring to me. Like,
Really?
oh, I'm going to dance on this couch for a little bit. Oh, I'm going to do this, And he seemed like he was just like phoning it in as an actor. He didn't really have a lot of character in this movie. He has goals, but he doesn't really have a character per se. And I know
I'd argue that he did have a character. His character was to be the guy who needed to stay in his lane for those parties. Yeah, you could get drunk, hang with your bros, but you also still got to show that, hey, at the end of the day, you got to show that you have a moral compass.
Yeah, and he does have a moral compass, but he's a guy. Another guy with a moral compass would be like, y'all got a donkey and cocaine in here. Have fun at the party. I'm walking home, or I'm going to go grab my school bus and go do other stuff. I just felt like this movie kind of drags on with his character. The other characters are great in it, which is why I continued watching. I love just the fucking shenanigans that happened all around, and it just felt like it was a movie that Tom Hanks is the sore thumb. Like, what is he doing here? The other characters belong in this movie. I felt Tom Hanks portrayed a guy that just like he's like, listen,
They're
I'm
doing the things that he
don't pay
shouldn't be
attention to
doing.
the shit show behind me.
They're doing the things that he shouldn't be doing. That makes sense. They're picking up on spots as okay, well, these guys are not getting married, and you got one guy who already is married, but he still chooses to be a little unwise by his decisions. He's being the guy who's trying to actually provide the better example.
Yeah, because if he screws around, then that ruins the movie, right?
Exactly.
I mean, we'd all like to see him, and of course he's got Tawny Katane as his fiance, but I think they had to have his character play it where he couldn't screw around, and you get all his then you're seeing everything else that's fun through his friends and screwing around that way. But I thought he had a lot of great one-liners with this here. I just can't believe that these two are actually getting married. But
oh yeah, the fact that
look how gorgeous Tawny Katane is there, and she tragically died a few years ago, and she had tons of alcohol and drug problems, unfortunately.
It wasn't all the metal bands she hung out with, was it?
I hope.
Mars,
unfortunately, right? Yeah.
Mars Monkey says Stars has it. See, I looked and I didn't see it.
Because it told me when I did a search for it, it said Stars should have it, but it was attached with Stars and Apple Plus, and I have Apple Plus now because of my T-Mobile whatever, and it still wasn't showing up there either.
Well,
so it said it was
no one wants
to.
It's in the Gilded, guys. I watched it earlier today for the first time.
It's almost like he's promoting the Gilded.
Almost. Fuck you, Gilded. Tom, come in here.
We miss you out there, Tom. We really do.
Yeah.
Shout out. But I love it as they hop into the vehicle, and the fact that he just he chases her away. I thought that was great because they'll show you it's like, okay, yeah, we're married, but if I'm gonna let loose, if I'm gonna let loose, I'm gonna unleash my crazy, but share that crazy with you. I thought that was great for his character's personality. So I like that. Just was like, okay, well, this is where I get to unleash the crazy. I'll still have my time for the guys, but you get to now be a part of my life and have that crazy as well. Not just be, okay, I gotta be boring husband. He wants to still be exciting for her. I thought it was actually, and then the thing that they have on the back of their bus was like, yeah, just have it. Oh, that's why I'm.
Oh, sorry, I was messing you up.
No, it's okay. They have, that's why I have John Wick Chapter 4 on Blu-ray. But yes, lay that pipe, Rick. Yeah.
And I love this clip from the movie. This is just the girl from Bosom Buddies.
What did you say, Stanley? What did you say, Stanley? What did you say, Stanley? You said no hookers. You said no hookers. No hookers. No hookers.
Winnie
You're like in this posh hotel.
Winnie Joesberger is like that.
She's awesome.
That girl, she's 32. She's got a couple cats, and every January, if you're lonely and cold, you kind of warm up to your version of Winnie Joesberger. You're like, hey, fat girl with a good mouth. Hey, what you doing? Here's some craft beer and some nice coffee for you. What do you say we become a thing for the next 4 weeks? Because I'm not doing the Christmas season with you, but I'll wrap up the last half of January and February, and we'll do the tour with everybody. And she ends up swallowing your kids a few times down the road. She's an amazing girl. Keep her close. But too many guys just pass that one up. You should not do that. That one, you don't wife it up, but you always make sure she feels appreciated for what she does for you.
Yeah, Tina's definitely not the one you definitely don't want to marry, but it looks like our buddy here made the move of marrying her, and she's the girl who also happens to put her finger up guys' bungholes. So that's definitely a really weird scenario. It's like, my wife she fingers men for work. Fucking weird. Yeah. But anyways, chat. Go ahead and give out your scores, okay? I want to see your I'm sure the toxicity scores are going to be escalating with this one. I'm sure they're going to be rising to the top.
-4.
To say it. Yeah, -4. But as those scores pop up, Dustin, let's hear your thoughts on this movie.
Comic Vader.
I mean, there's nothing toxic about a little hooers, some hookers, some cocaine, a donkey show.
Like your 70s.
Hoors. I didn't say anything about diddly potatoes. Okay. That was what I thought would get a bigger laugh. But anyway, yeah, I think, I mean, as far as movies go, it's pretty toxic. You know, it's probably a big reason why you can't find it. Is I imagine that Tom Hanks is probably not proud of this movie, especially in the current climate. So I would probably say it's a definite 10 out of 10 toxicity. Greatness, it's a genre building movie, but I don't think it's great in of itself. It led to a lot of great movies. So I think I'd have to give it a 7.5.
That's still a pretty favorable score.
Yeah, I mean, it's not trash.
Okay.
But I mean, I think that it spawned a lot of better movies. But I mean, there's some definite good things going on with it. So yeah, 7.5, toxicity, 10 out of 10, you know. And yeah.
Okay.
Irritatingly hard to find, but sure.
Well, the last time we had one like this was Revenge of the Nerds. Remember
Revenge
of the Nerds, they had down that one really odd streaming service where it was a free trial for a week. And then after that, it was $25 a month. Do you remember that one? It was on that real. I can't remember the name of it.
A lot of those streaming services are going to be going under. I guess Freevy's going out.
Oh, Freevy's going out.
The streaming service model is not a sustainable model. So unless you
they're paid for with commercials, I guess, right? So
yeah, Freevee was free with commercials. Yeah.
But some like Tubi is really good, you know, if you want to watch an old TV show or something. But they have commercials. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of contraction in the next few years, I'm sure. Yeah,
we're gonna be right back where we left off at cable.
Yeah, paying for like Amazon Prime has commercials now if you want to watch their video.
Yep. Torrent say what?
Jack Ryan.
Oh my God, 11 Alpha, that's fucking great. Oh my God, we're thinking.
I forgot this.
This is a great fucking movie, and this line right here is a reason why this movie fucking wins. We're thinking of adopting. I'd like to adopt a 17-year-old Korean girl I've had my eye on. Fuck yes!
How did I?
Yeah, I didn't clip that.
That line.
God damn it. 11 Alpha, God damn it. I owe you a brewski, brother.
I stand by my 10 after 10 for toxicity.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna highlight some scores. Poods Cat, as you say, you're gonna watch what he said. Sperber, Mars Monkey Max, 10 out of 10. Cosmic Bear, toxicity unfathomable. This movie makes snowflakes melt like human skin in a nuclear blast. D-Bud, overall 9. Toxicity, are you kidding? Look at my tits. Normie the Navi, 10. Soul Assassin, 10-10 toxicity, 10-10 greenness, and 10-10 for Bruce channeling Rudy during the stream. It was great. Vulcan Lives, overall 8, toxicity 10, Bruce 10. Bruce gets a score tonight.
I love you guys. Thank you.
Movies an 8, 9 out of 10 for toxicity, 10 out of 10 for cocaine, ODing, donkeys. Matthew Marzillo, 8 out of 10 witty dialogue, 7 out of 10 annoying in-laws, 10 out of 10 complete punky cocaine call ladies debauchery. Like Yagnomino, overall 8. That 3D is so real. Toxicity, 8 out of 10. Most toxicity without murder. Good point there. All right, Bruce. I know you're ready to unleash your honest thoughts.
All right. I don't like Tom Hanks around this era. Booze and Buddies gets a pass. I didn't really appreciate him on Family Ties much. Mainly Mazes and Monsters. Me and Rogue Thinker had a few words in chat. But that pissed me off for a good few years. And this movie does nothing for him. Up until Splash, he was just tepid, boring-ass Mitt Romney white guy in a movie. And he kind of did that throughout most of his career. He's really good at just, like, spilling lines. He's not good for me as a character. He doesn't do character work. The people around Tom Hanks in this movie make this fucking movie. The sets, everything with the school bus, the locations, the hotel, the piss poor shooting of the fucking bad guy. Good God, what a putz! I'm sorry. Like, if you're bring back Ted from Revenge of the Nerds, the blonde haired guy.
I remember Ted.
Bring back that man. That would have been a great fucking character actor for this movie. But Tom Hanks drags this movie down for me. 6 out of 10 for those of you on a 10 scale. For me, he's a 63 out of 100. This is a fine movie to watch because of all the things that go around Tom Hanks. When he's Rick is tepid white guy that you buy in a picture frame at fucking Sears or J.C. Penney's. He's boring. He's a nice guy. He's going to be good to your daughter. Boring as fuck. God bless him. But the rest of his crew, Rudy, I love you, brother. I miss you. Make more movies, dude. All the fucking tits in this movie, except for Tawny Katane, amazing tits. Even some of Tawny Katane's little friends. There's the girl in the gray little jumpsuit. She's kind of hot. I was watching her ass a few times. But I tell you what, the fucking spank of the night is going to be that fucking belly dancer. That woman made me so happy. I'm going to go back and watch it again. Because there's 3 minutes of joy waiting for my fucking stranger. You know what I'm talking about. So that is going to be my fucking happiness. And for toxicity score, this movie gets a fucking 95 out of 100. Great tits. Good fucking strip. Fuck yeah.
Lay that pipe. Drive it home, bro.
That was like an Alex Jones level of like rantiness. Wow. Your passion is absolutely admirable, Bruce. Wow.
I love being on your panel. I'm going to miss this if my job interferes with this. You have no idea how much I'm going to miss this. But if I have the chance to listen to you, I will still be here. At the very least, I'll be listening in, and I might be in spirit in the chat like everybody else. But I love being part of this panel on Tuesday nights so much, dude.
Well, you were a frequent listener before you were a part of the show, so yeah, I can confirm you do that.
Well, I got a new job, and it starts on the 11th. I don't know what my schedule is yet. I have the week that I have to do training. I know that's going to suck. After that, when we get my schedule, we'll find out. I
hope you can be here.
I want to be here, but man, you guys are fucking great. I love this. This is the best night of the week for just being an absolute, honest.
You're just saying that because of what's on the screen right now.
Look at those. Look at those.
He's saying something?
Knockers. That woman should have had a great career. I hope she did. I could focus on that all day. At least.
Why aren't you getting anything done at work? I don't know. Nope. I can't get that image out of my mind. Yeah.
Mecca J, movie 9 out of 10, toxic 8.5, donkeys 11. I guess, will that be all, Bruce?
That will, sir. Thank you so much for letting me be here. This was great.
My pleasure. Oh, yeah.
That time, I heard you coming.
Mark.
All right. Well, I don't know if Handy Randy wasn't here, but I don't know if he could Handy Randy have handled Nick the Dick? I don't know. Would he have been able to? What do you guys think?
He couldn't handle the dick.
He couldn't handle it, probably.
Of Nick. The dick of Nick.
Yeah, that's one I didn't get a chance to clip with you, Nick. I gotta do that clip with you. But yeah, no, I love this movie. It's just yeah, Tom Hanks probably, I'm guessing, wants this movie erased, or if he's a cool enough guy, I don't know. Maybe he enjoys it, or back to a simpler time. Just shows you what kind of fun you could have a movie. And yeah, you go see a movie like this, you're not expecting anything great, but shit, it's fun, right? If you're knocking down a few beers, have some pizza with your friends, it's a crazy crazy fun movie to watch. Right, the plot is paper thin, but it does a good job at that paper thin plot. And there's some really fun gags, like when the hookers show up at the the fancy dancy country club house. Couldn't stop laughing when they like you picture and they're like, oh, another one of these parties, right? And they think that's what they're there for. And then the women, do you have an empty outlet? It's like, what the fuck? I gotta play this.
Yeah, I guess he still helps.
Is there an empty outlet around here? Thanks.
What song will she sing first?
She's so grateful about to. Yeah, hey, thanks for doing that for me. You're really I'm doing you a favor and you're doing me a favor.
Yeah. So, and of course, I do like Hank's characters. I like the quips about the Catholic school stuff and this line.
Yeah, me and Debbie are going to have kids right away, I think. I'd like to adopt this 17-year-old Korean girl I had my eye on for a while. I figure why I'd beat around a bush.
That's so
that
good.
line was by Rick. Come on.
Yeah.
Or at least in context, he's trying to be an asshole and be funny.
Yeah.
He's telling the parents like, "Screw you! I'm
Great
gonna do whatever
character.
I want."
That's a great character.
Yeah. So I had fun. I did have fun with this character, and enjoy his character in this one, and the whole team, like Bruce was saying, and or Rudy is saying, yeah, they had the whole team there. It makes it's a great gang. You got the nerdy guy that gets lucky with Lola there, and it's like, no, she'd be standing up. Don't handcuff me.
Jim Carrey, Howie Mandel, and Tim Robbins were considered for the role of Rick, and oddly enough, for Debbie, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh, and she might have worked too. She could have worked. Yep. Probably Kane's much prettier, but
I've spanked off to Julia Louis-Dreyfus more than I want to admit. That's not my fap of shame, but that's in the lower third.
Like Frasier might be your fap of shame, right? I don't know.
Well, don't do anything to this end.
That's the kind you go with overhanded.
I always go for the stranger. Always go for the stranger.
And as lifelong friends, I say, gentlemen, start your boners.
That should be how you start every episode, Nick. Start your boners.
Start your boners would be a good fucking opener.
After the normal Toxic Tuesday intro, play start and then add start your boners at the end.
You just say it. Just be like, ladies and gentlemen, start your boners.
Yeah, sometimes we don't know what clips. I delete most of the clips after, but sometimes there's keepers, and that's.
I think start your boners is now amongst the pantheon.
That's the pantheon. Yeah. So definitely. Toxicity 10. You're not making this movie today, right? It ain't happening. So this is a 10. I give it like a B plus. This movie, it's a fun movie. Maybe if you had like 3 or 4 beers in you, it turns into an A, and you got lots of good pizza. But it's just the fun freaking 80s. It's the 80s, right? We're getting this is quintessential 80s.
All right.
And what do we have this year? How many good movies do we have this year? 2 good movies or 3 good movies?
Like no good movies.
Well, you got Dune 2. I haven't seen that. I watched Madam Web. Somehow I found a way to watch it. Shall we say?
You are getting this? Why?
Well, I skimmed through it. I said, let me see how long they're in costume. Someone told me they're only in costume for 5 seconds, so I was just doing the fast forward, and I'm like, God, this looks horrible. And I get to the end, and they're in costume for 5 seconds. It's like you got Sydney Sweeney here. It's like have her in the whole movie in costume, then we'd go. But this is just a throwback to a simpler, fun time when he didn't have all this PC crap to worry about, and he could have real comedy. And it's a fun movie. And I'm giving it 3 out of 12 handy Randys because I don't think he could handle the whole 12 inches of that sandwich. Or that hot dog.
Come on, put the bun around it and then go for it.
Yeah.
The bread will help.
Bread will help. Yeah.
So for me,
we have not had a whole lot of good movies.
Take care, Mars Monkey Max. Thanks for being here, sir.
Mars Monkey Max, God bless you, man. Thank you so much for being here.
For me, this movie is obviously an 11 out of 10 in toxicity. It gets about 15 on Nick the Dicks. I really just said it the other way around. 15. Because, man, there's just a lot of pluckings that you have between Mr. Thompson gang. Well, whatever happened to him in the bedroom at the near end of the movie. The horse, the bestiality of
that
it all.
Donkey stole the show. Channeled his inner Belushi, and he succeeded.
Rudy's unmatched energy. Seriously, like he's that best friend you want at your wedding and at your party. You want that guy who's gonna always be on 11 from when the party stops until it's 5 a.m. and everyone's half alive, but he's the one who's still fully alive somehow. He's
Rudy
that guy.
will be the guy to delete your links, your cookies. He will come by after they've made the assessment, like you've gone room temperature, and he'll be like, "Hey, I just need to go to his office for a moment. Let me in. Nick has me doing some things, some cleanup." And then like he goes around and like hard drives get fucking wiped, fucking computers get thrown in a burn pile, kerosene on it. Like Rudy's the man. He's the guy you want in your like back pocket. Like when that ticket comes up, he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta get rid of all this stuff."
Rudy, yeah.
And Rudy's there. He's in the attic taking down all these boxes with like, what are these strange receipts? Shut the fuck up. I'm going out to the burn pile. And that's that. He's working for like 6 hours. Rudy's your guy. You want Rudy as your friend.
I will, D-Bud, just for you. That'll be my next stream on mine, so I'll do it. All right. I do like the character of Rick. I think he had great delivery in this movie. And I like the fact that he was in a tough situation where he was, how do I be this guy that has to adjust to a situation, and how do I adapt to it? Because I come from a lifestyle, because he's a traditional guy. And he now has to adjust at the very last second to being something else. So for me, he was kind of winging it, but also trying to make sure he was trying to keep himself off the ice and not being on that thin ice, because he is trying to prepare himself for what is going to be now the rest of his life. I felt like he adapted very well for it, and he was having fun within the confines of his abilities. So, and on top of it, it was still a hotel he was practically still hosting. And sometimes there does come a sense of responsibility, even as drunk as you are, if it's under your name, because I don't think it was under anyone else's name, that hotel. It seemed like it was under him. I mean, he was the one making all the calls, getting people's attention when things were going on, that it was like, okay, we gotta make attention. And yeah, the first half of the movie is the exposition, and then the second half is the dominoes all come down. And I feel like all hour and 40 minutes of it had absolute toxicity throughout. And once again, Dune director, you're wrong. The dialogue in this movie is absolutely needed to enhance many, many, many great scenes in this movie. So many great lines. Super canceled movie. Please buy on physical media. For now, as far as movie, I do agree that it's not my favorite of the bunch of these types of movies, but I still thoroughly enjoy. I still give it probably like a good strong 8.4. So I do enjoy it. 8.4 for me. I thought this was just a nice, fun, crazy party movie that has a heart to it, and much like Revenge of the Nerds does. But of course, all the soy boy beta cocks are gonna pay attention selectively to the toxicity of it all. When they shouldn't be trashing it, they should be admiring it. All right. That, guys, was Bachelor Party. Next week, we are taking a week off. We'll be back in 2 weeks when we talk up Police Academy. We'll be back in 2 weeks. I know there have been people who've been asking for Police Academy for a while, so we're finally going to be doing Police Academy. So if you're one of those ones who's been here for a while, we'll just say that, a while, and you've been wanting Police Academy, we're finally doing it. We are finally doing Police Academy, and I'll just give it out for the rest of March and of course April. Police Academy, the first Ghostbusters, and then Raw Deal from Schwarzenegger, and Reynolds month. Then Burt
All
Reynolds
right.
for the entire month of April. So there's your March and April schedules way ahead of advance. Have all your Tuesdays open. It's gonna be diabolical. So, anyways, thank you guys for being here, and thank you guys for sticking around, giving us all your great energy and toxicity in this chat. And I see we've gained a few new subs during the stream. Thank you if you're out there, whether
Sweet.
you're one of the people commenting or just a lurker. I thank you. We'll see you in 2 weeks for a show. But other than that, on my channel, I'll have a video or two out this week. And Comic Shop Talk Friday night, I'll be talking Wolverine with the dudes, Frank Miller stuff as well. And of course, I'll be on Midnight's Edge Thursday and TNT with Comics Division. We'll be getting back to Bond in November. Bond month. That's been our new tradition. Oh, you know he'll be back for Ghostbusters. Believe that. Thank you, Vulcan. Appreciate that, sir. All right. That's what's coming up my way. I'm going to let these gentlemen plug their plugs on the way out. And we'll start off with Dustin. I mean, Mark. Sorry.
Oh, you said Dustin.
Yeah, I was like,
I meant Mark.
And I was clipping a surprise for Nick as we were doing that. But I
Ooh.
was listening.
I'll
I was
welcome
listening,
that.
but no, thank you everyone. Yeah, it's always awesome to hang out here and a lot of fun to do these clips, and they have some mad appearances. So it wasn't too bad today. I was worried when Bachelor Party. I forgot. I wasn't sure how much nudity. Whenever the movie goes into a strip club, I get nervous. But yeah, it was a fun one. So, but check out my channel. My main show was Sunday Night Geekery, 10 p.m. Eastern. We talk what's going on in the week, good, bad, ugly. Madam Web, probably some Dune too. I've been watching For All Mankind, and then we always transgress into some food talk or talk about 3D printing or enabling, because I'm a big Star Trek fan, Star Wars, that kind of stuff. So I try to round it all out. And thanks for the Nick sent everyone over from his show the other night to my channel. So I'm like 300 watch hours away from 4K. So it'd be nice to get that. I'm getting close. I got to stream more, I guess. But look for me on Sunday night. And also I'm on late night on Saturday morning, late night Fortnite, and Thursday night with Clobber Times in the Clubhouse. And this week we're covering Blake 7. And we might do an episode of the new Outer Limits with one that I really like. So then we just talk all kinds of geek and nerd stuff there and have fun. So thanks everyone. Appreciate the sub. And let me put the links in for everyone too. Yep. I don't know if Eric K is around to drop in the links, but
he's not. He posted in our private message group that he is busy on Cobra Cast. He is very busy over there, so it's all good.
Oh, all good. Yeah, we love Eric K. Yep.
Big fans of the man Eric K.
For sure. Yep. So here's my link. Always appreciates the sub. Yep.
I agree, Mecca. I wish there could be one like it again. I strongly agree. And yes, go sub to Mark, guys. Thank you as always, sir, for your fantastic visual outlets.
Welcome.
Your appliances are so much better than Kohl's, and it's not even close.
I gotta go paint my truck with some fire stripes now. I have a black truck, but I don't have anything cool. Any cool graphics on it.
Just give it a nice blowhorn, sir. And until then, I will see you soon. And now I truly mean it when I say it's Dustin's turn.
There we go.
You know where to find me. Tuesday nights, right here with Nick and these fine gentlemen. Tuesday nights also at 7 p.m. My wife and I, we do a Tuesday live tonight. Probably a little more racy than normal. We were talking about we were talking about Eggplant Friday, and if you're not familiar with that, Google it. It's funny. Tomorrow I have a live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be a vertical live. I'm finding those very useful to add subs. It is a way to find people, new people. And then I've got some other content coming, as I've got a video coming, or a live Saturday. The initial person that was supposed to be on has postponed. So I'm not sure who's going to be my guest, but we'll figure that out. I do know I've got some guests coming up, and I have Culture Casino going to be on my channel on March the 30th.
Nice.
Saturday morning, March 30th. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah.
That's gonna be a huge show, man.
That's some culture to your show.
Yeah. A little bit of, a little bit of highbrow. And then
when culture comes to a show, he brings quite a few things to the table. You know that, right?
There's no sense in going off half-cocked.
Oh my God, the cock.
And then every Saturday or Sunday morning, I come up and we talk while I have my coffee. That one's early, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're still awake and kind of drunk still, come talk. Hang out with me. Yeah.
It's been a divine pleasure of many sorts, Dustin.
I enjoy arriving in your presence.
I will always welcome it and feel flattered and divine by it. Sir, have a great night. And as always, I'll see you soon. And Rudy. Plug your plug on the way out. Hey, your mic is off, Rudy. He's drunk.
Damn it. I was being nice. Okay, I love this movie, but fucking Tom Hanks for me ruins it, but whatever. This movie, go buy this movie on hard copy, go get a DVD of it or Blu-ray. You'll really enjoy it. And more importantly, when your young boy, he enters high school, 14, 15 years old, sit the little shit down and be like, hey, before everything got ruined, this is what entertainment was. And you pop this movie in and you just let him watch it. And you can even leave him alone in the movie. It's great. This is one of the best movies to see as a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it sadly at the age of 49, and I missed out on all the fucking joy in this movie. I mean, good Lord. This movie not only has Wendy Jo Sperger, who is an amazing comedic actress. 1941 needs to be reviewed by us, but it also has freaking Deborah Harmon. It has Tracy Smith. It's got who is the Tracy girl? Tracy was played by Monique Gabrielle. Monique Gabrielle. You guys need to see her in a lot of films. This is probably her peak, but between her and Angela Ames, this movie is a fantastic movie, an homage to Angela. God bless her. She rest in peace. She died in 1988 of heart disease. Crazy.
Wow, too young.
This movie is a fun movie. You'll watch it, you'll laugh, you'll have a lot of they film this shit. You'll have that moment while you watch this. But if you want to follow me, I'm on YouTube. I've been here for a few years, and I'll be restricting my access to it. On the weekends, you'll be seeing me do a lot more uploads. During the week, probably not so much, because I'm taking a new job, and I might not be part of this panel, which that breaks my heart. I love Nick. I love Mark D with a C. I love seeing Brian. I love seeing all the guys. Dustin, if you guys are like me and you're a little bigger than what you want to be, look at Dustin's channel, Keto Simple. Somebody mods, pop Keto Simples, put his plugs in again. He has the best recipes for chicken. And I fucking push that on my crew. I think Dustin was there last time. But I've been telling my people, like, listen, if you're having problems, if you need to drop some numbers there, it make your doctor less worried about you, go to Keto Simple's channel. He's got good fingers. He's got amazing chicken recipes.
Where's it been putting his fingers?
This is really gay.
Thank you, Mark UC. And this
man's got to know his limitations.
the podcast I've ever done in the history of YouTube. I have
Like,
never.
I don't know if it's gay unless you're like.
Chippendale star attraction, Mr. Nicholas, better known as Nick the Dick.
Oh shit! I forgot rid of my shirt. That's great, guys. This is a fun movie. This is a great panel. I'm going to miss this if I lose this, but I want you all. Please keep coming. I'll be part of the chat. I promise you. This is a great fucking time to be alive. Everybody, go follow Keto Simple. He's going to help you.
Lay that pipe. Drive it home, bro.
God bless Rudy.
Oh, and you have a better night, Rudy. Oh.
And as lifelong friends, I say, gentlemen, start your boners.
Start your boners.
All right, guys. Thanks again for supporting Toxic Tuesday. We'll see you in 2 weeks with Police Academy. It was fucking retarded tonight. Thanks for supporting this.
Chippendale.
I'd like to show you something.
The pace when I'm running, I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, 'cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
You're still here? It's over. Go home.
Good night, everybody. Here's the last image before you go. Thank you.